The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. On the attack, Prime Minister Davis wrongly accuses the National Guardian of false reporting. The Office of the Prime Minister complains to IRCA about Guardian Radio. And we are talking with the JCNP, breaking their silence about what the government is proposing to do with Junkanoo. That's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
It's a new day. Wake up. It's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Friday, July 25th, 2025. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Ricardo Wells is going to be joining us. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, Prime Minister Philip Davis inaccurately accusing the National Guardian of falsely reporting on the Ministry of Finance's latest fiscal report, which was for the month of April 2025, and attacked the newspaper and its executive editor, Candia Dames, who wrote the story outlining the latest numbers. Davis accused Dames of being led by political mischievousness and drinking the F&M Kool-Aid. The crux of the story reported yesterday was that the government's finances in April came in at a deficit of $2.1 million, weeks after the Prime Minister reported preliminary numbers in his budget communication of a surplus for the month of $135 million. The Guardian story quoted Shadow Minister of Finance Kwesi Thompson, who called on the Prime Minister, who was also Minister of Finance, to provide an explanation for why the final numbers came in so drastically off from the preliminary projection. Thompson suggested that this called the Prime Minister's future projections into question and stated it impacts the credibility of his announcement of a $75 million overall surplus for the new fiscal year, which started July 1st. Davis was asked to respond to the story yesterday and immediately misinterpreted what the report said and what was written by the writer. He accused the National Guardian of a, quote, complete misrepresentation of the facts, again, an inaccurate claim, saying, quote, you need to look at what I said when I presented my budget communication in May of this year. I gave a preliminary estimate of what the income was for April 2025. After it was adjusted, there was a $2 million deficit, but that doesn't impact the fiscal year because we still had May and June. The Prime Minister then accused Dames of operating in favor of the Free National Movement. Dames' brother is former National Security Minister Marvin Dames, who recently secured the opposition party's nomination for Mount Moriah, a constituency he represented in the last term, and a race he lost in the 2021 general election. Davis said, quote, I know this is the political season, and this was under the hands of Candia Dames, who's supposed to be a seasoned journalist. We expect her to do her homework, not just drink the Kool-Aid of the F&M, who her brother is running for. I think the Guardian and Ms. Dames ought to apologize to the Bahamian people for that headline. Well, F&M leader Michael Pintard yesterday said that it is Davis who owes the Bahamian people an apology, saying, quote, there's no attack Philip Davis can level at the press that can distract from the latest example of PLP math. Both the National Guardian and the Tribune reported that the government's own budget report contradicted the claims made by the Prime Minister in his budget speech, stating that his administration had run a $135 million surplus for the month of April, when in fact it had run a $2 million deficit for that month. Well, amid complaints from consumers over high electricity bills, Prime Minister Philip Davis yesterday said the electricity bills have not gone up, but rather the rate of consumption has increased. The Prime Minister saying yesterday, usually in the summer months, electricity bills go up because of the heat and consumption. Saying, quote, if they compare their bill from this summer to they see that they are paying less this summer than they did last summer, that is where the comparison ought to be. He said bills have not gone up, consumption has gone up. Saying, quote, I would invite persons to compare their bill this summer and what it was for last summer. On Wednesday, Senator Michael Barnett Ellis said BPL rates are, quote, a never-ending nightmare. In April, the government released a comprehensive report outlining a strategy to bring reliable, affordable, and sustainable electricity to the Bahamas. Davis noted that BPL set up a unit to assess energy use and urged residents with complaints to reach out to the unit. South Beach MP Bacchus Roll says he intends to address the state of Bougainvillea Park and other parks within the South Beach constituency, following complaints from residents about the park's broken infrastructure. In a statement posted on social media, Roll addressed photos published by the Nassau Guardian exposing broken equipment, dilapidated structures, and soiled bathroom facilities. He said that as the Member of Parliament for the area, he would say, quote, that park infrastructure is an issue that requires dual buy-in from both the state and the society where they are constructed. Roll asked for the assistance of residents in the area to upkeep the park. The government signing a $17.96 million agreement with Abaco Aggregate and Cement for the expansion and remediation of the Black Point Airport in Exuma as part of its Family Island Renaissance project. The contract awarded to Abaco Aggregates Company, which will conduct full reconstruction and expansion of the Black Point Airport runway. And a 51-year-old man accused of raping a teenage boy whom he had given shelter claimed that they had consensual sex during a police confrontation. The Supreme Court heard that he said that he was not a rapist. Marlon Newton is on trial for unlawful sexual intercourse with a minor of the same sex. Prosecutors allege that Newton had sex with a 17-year-old boy in the bedroom of his trailer home situated in Pinedale on August 18, 2019. Newton's claims of consensual intimacy is still illegal because the age of consent for homosexual relationships is 18. Assistant Superintendent Arnold Strawn said that he held a confrontation between the accuser and Newton on September 21st, 2019. The teen said that he had called Newton because he needed somewhere to stay after he'd been put out. He said Newton picked him up and brought him to his home. According to the teen, Newton asked him if he wanted to bathe. He alleged that Newton joined him in the shower and he protested. You can read more of the story in today's Nassau Guardian. Overseas, the United States is cutting short Gaza ceasefire talks and bringing its negotiating team home from Qatar to discuss next steps after Hamas's latest response, quote, shows a lack of desire to reach a truce. That's according to U.S. President Donald Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff. Witkoff saying in a statement that, quote, while the mediators have made a great effort, Hamas does not appear to be coordinated or acting in good faith. We will now consider alternative options to bring the hostages home and try to create a more stable environment for the people of Gaza. State Department spokesperson would not offer details on what alternative options the U.S. is considering to free hostages held by the militant group. Hamas said in a statement that it was surprised by Witkoff's, quote, negative remarks and said it has shown responsibility and flexibility in the negotiating track. And French President Emmanuel Macron announcing that France will recognize Palestine as a state in a bold diplomatic move amid snowballing global anger over people starving in Gaza. Israel denounced the decision. Macron saying in a post on X, formerly Twitter, that he will formalize the decision of the UN Secretary Assembly, the UN General Assembly in September. He wrote, quote, the urgent thing today is that the war in Gaza stops and the civilian population is saved. The mostly symbolic move puts added diplomatic pressure on Israel as the war and humanitarian crisis in the Gaza Strip rage. France is now the biggest Western power to recognize Palestine, and the move could pave the way for other countries to do the same. More than 140 countries recognize Palestine. It is time for sports, brought to you by Kalik. The Bahamas Baseball Association is gearing up to host what should be an exciting weekend of youth baseball. The inaugural BBA Youth All-Star Weekend is set for this weekend, July 25th through 27th at the Andre Rogers National Baseball Stadium. The three-day tournament presents a one-of-a-kind opportunity for the nation's best young baseball players, providing them with a platform to showcase their skills while engaging in friendly competition for bragging rights. Sand Wars Bahamas is set to host a competitive flag football tournament with an interesting twist from Friday to Sunday at the Bahamas Football Association's National Beach Soccer Stadium. The tournament will be played on sand, forcing players to rely heavily on athleticism and conditioning men and women's titles. This year's event will feature a total of 16 teams, 10 male and 6 female squads, competing for the chance to be crowned champions. Event organizer Reginald Knowles says the tournament, he expects it to flourish, especially with the collaboration of former NFL wide receiver Julio Jones. And Team Bahamas girls have turned in respectable performances of the 2025 International Tennis Federation, Central American and Caribbean Tennis Confederation Under 12 team competition in Santo Domingo. But so far, they have little to show for it. Against Puerto Rico on Monday, Lisa Ann Cambridge was up first, and she fought valiantly but lost 3-6, 3-6, and 3-6 to Melina Ramirez. The number one player for the Bahamas, London Mortimer, won the second set against Puerto Rico's number one player, Valentina Gomez, but lost in 3 sets. She dropped the match 5-7, 6-4, and 6-3. More on how that's going in today's Guardian Sports section. At Sports, brought to you by Kalik and Pop the Top. It's back and bigger than ever. Kalik, the beer of the Bahamas, giving away. Purchase your favorite Kalik beer and look under the cap, and you could be a winner. Free Kalik beer, free merch, or cold hard cash could be yours just for drinking Kalik. Kalik reminds you to drink responsibly. And it's time for your first look at weather, brought to you by Star General. We've got a ridge of high pressure that's going to maintain stable conditions along with moderate to locally strong breezes over the islands. Meanwhile, a plume of Saharan dust is going to decrease shower chances and create hazy skies. The surface ridge is going to gradually weaken, reducing wind speeds over the islands by Saturday through to early next week. Stable conditions will remain across the area until Sunday, when a surface trough is expected to enhance cloudiness and shower activity, mainly across the central and southeast Bahamas. And there remains a risk of rip currents, especially along eastern shorelines of the central and southeast Bahamas today. For today, across most areas, we're looking at mostly sunny and hazy conditions, turning mainly fair tonight. Only about a 10% chance of showers. Winds southeasterly at 10 to 15 knots for the northern islands, east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots for the northwest, easterly at 15 to 20 to 25 knots, with occasional gusts in the central and southeast Bahamas. Temperatures today, we're looking at a hot one, highs around 93 Fahrenheit, 34 Celsius, but the heat index will make you feel like it's 102 Fahrenheit, 39 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to a very warm 82 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up in just a bit. This weather check brought to you by Star General Insurance, made simple.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way.
It is time for a break, but when we come back, we're discussing today's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
It's a new day. Wake up. It's a new day.
With RBC, your every journey happens now. Free up cash with affordable auto financing from RBC. With competitive rates and no bank fees, it's the perfect time to make every journey something special. Apply now to pre-qualify in 60 seconds at rbc.com/auto loan to shop with confidence. Conditions apply. RBC, your idea of loving your journey happens here.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or a tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows or your TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
As a healthcare professional, you dedicate your life to caring for others. But even with the best care, legal challenges can arise. Protect your practice and your peace of mind with medical malpractice insurance from Star General. At Star General, we've partnered with Lloyd's of London to bring you comprehensive professional liability insurance designed specifically for those consulting or practicing privately. Visit our website today so you can focus on what you do best, caring for your patients, while we take care of the rest. Star General, insurance made simple.
Pop the top with collect, check your cap at 700, 200,000 in cash and prizes, with winners on different islands. Collect! Pop the top with collect, check your cap at 700, you could win free bears, take a sip, and collect merchandise, matter say. I pop mine at Shomariga, I pop mine at Homecomedy, look with free bears at Abaco and Andres, check your cap, when you go Grand Bahama. Collect! Pop the top with collect, check your cap at 700. You could win free bears, take a sip, and collect merchandise, matter say. Drink responsibly, boy.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Nassau, it's that time again. The Ministry of Tourism, Investment and Aviation presents Bahamas Gourmet Summer 2025. And it all goes down Friday, July 25th on Bay Street. All roads lead downtown Nassau. Friday, July 25th, 12 noon to midnight. Featuring Van Sean, Shine 242, KB, all backed by the Rhythm Band. Also a Chippy Gourmet Rush Out. Friday, July 25th on Bay Street.
As a local Bahamian bank, we believe that Bahamian businesses are the backbone of our society. At Fidelity, we proudly fuel the dreams of our local entrepreneurs looking to expand. Ready to grow your business? Apply for a Fidelity commercial loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Talk Radio the app for the Guardian Radio app. on your smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Flow, Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line, powered by BTC, 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan, joining me, as he does every final Friday, and maybe even more, here on the show, Ricardo Wells from the Accredited on Saturday from 10th year seniors. Good morning, sir. Great to have you with us, as always.
Good morning. I'm happy to be here. Definitely happy to be here. I'm trying to play it as safe and as cordial as possible this morning. So
why? What's the reason?
It's a big
Don't
day.
you do
for
that
you.
every day?
It's a big day for you.
How? Every day is a big day.
I'm just here to supporting our role.
I don't know what you're talking
Trying to
about.
get my job done today.
Okay. Well,
Eyes
I appreciate
open,
that.
ears open.
What are you saying?
There's a lot going on right now.
Oh, well, that is the truth. The election must be very, 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 very close. But anyway.
Get your register. Please register. Get your biometric card sorted out. Let's try and get that done as quickly as possible.
So today we're going to be talking with the JCNP. They've made some statements, but to speak in a setting like this, I believe this is the first time, and we're looking forward to talking with them this morning. That's going to be a little later in the show and heading into business. Right. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, though, we've got a lot to talk about in the news. In the news, the big story in the National Guardian on the attack. Prime Minister Davis wrongly accusing the Guardian of false reporting, but getting very, very personal with it as well, attacking the person who wrote the story, executive editor Candia Dames, and mentioning family, which, this is some wild stuff. This is a tiny country.
Very, very small town.
If you want to know who I related to, good Lord, it'd be terrifying.
Sometimes you have close family members that you're not even aware of.
That's another story. But what does that mean? So, this is exactly what they said, and I'm not sure why this was received in this manner, but we'll get to that, because there's another story that we want to, unfortunately, have to deal with. And it's related to this, on the attack, because they're firing lots of cannons at us for some reason. So while that's happening, the Office of the Prime Minister complained to IRCA about Guardian Radio. What? So our Travis Cartwright Carroll writing about this today. So Guardian Radio station manager Dwight Strachan, who's that guy, said yesterday he was shocked to discover that Office of the Prime Minister Communications Director Latrey Ramming lodged a complaint with the Utilities Regulation and Competition Authority, IRCA, without first seeking to ventilate the issue with Guardian Radio. According to IRCA's consumer protection regulations for the electronic communications sector, quote, all complaints by consumers against a service provider must be service provider in accordance with Part 6.4. Part 6.4 of the regulations state, among other things, that consumers can escalate a complaint to IRCA if a service provider has not resolved the complaint within 20 business days. Ramming wrote to IRCA CEO Carlton Smith yesterday asking for a review into whether Guardian Radio breached IRCA's code of practice. Ramming said it came to his attention that Earl Thompson, a public relations representative of the FNM, has appeared as a substitute host on Guardian Radio talk shows Off the Record with Zhivargo Lang and Talking Heads with Naughty. So Ramming wrote, quote, given Mr. Thompson's known political affiliation and ongoing advisory role of the official opposition, we are particularly concerned that his on-air contributions appear designed to consistently promote a one-sided and politically biased narrative. Yeah, my producer is doing his head. Like, what? We'll explain why that's very weird in a bit. Just going to read the story. But Strachan rejected Ramming's assertions. He said he found out about the complaint via Facebook, like many other members of the public.
We all did.
Strachan said, quote, but even more shocking is that not only did he never send us a copy of this complaint letter, but instead leaked it to competing media organizations. Mr. Ramming knows my personal mobile phone number In fact, just this week, he directly contacted me with a request. He frequently calls into our live programs, unsolicited. Do I have to say that again? To make the case for the government's decisions or to clarify positions, often making it worse. That's not in here, but I'm just adding that there. This is from Strachan again, that guy. Quote, we strive to feature all viewpoints and sides of issues on our programs. But just this week, following repeated requests for interviews with cabinet ministers on Talking Heads with Naughty, a representative from the Office of the Prime Minister replied with the message, quote, Dwight, they don't wish to have anyone on Naughty's show.
Getting to the bottom of it now.
Strachan continues. Listeners of Mr. Thompson for even a few minutes can tell he has maintained a fair and balanced approach as a guest host. We are left to wonder if this is just another attempt to stifle freedom of speech and dissenting opinions, and to continue the disturbing pattern of gutting and silencing the media in the Bahamas. What's that about? Well, back to the story. When it took office in 2021, the Davis administration hired dozens of journalists, including Clint Watson, who became press secretary and worked closely with Ramming to spread government messaging. Watson is now the general manager of the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. IRCA said yesterday that it received Ramming's complaint. Folks, so I've decided I'm going to deal with this the way we deal with all stories in the news.
All right.
I am just
Take it
here
to the people.
as a host of this show, and we're going to get your reaction to it. If you want to call Dwight Strachan for comment, maybe we could do that later in the show. But for now, Dwight Strachan, the host, is here to get your reaction to this. So I know it's been, again, it was leaked to our competitors.
That's the part I was confused by, because the way the process played out. I saw the statement. Anybody that's been in media or has had any sort of connection with Ladre, you would receive the notices via WhatsApp or email or whatever. But this was weird because I saw it on Eyewitness at first. Mm-hmm. I'm going to call the name. I was like, okay.
No, it's important to call the names. Yeah. I'll get to that in a bit.
I was like, I saw this no place else. No place else. Okay, this is not the process for these sorts of things. So that's when I was like, all right, something is clearly off here. So I started to do my own little, reporter skills, pulling up, making some calls, and I was like, okay, I see what we're doing here.
So I was, Earl was filling in for so he's filling for Naughty yesterday.
Oh, okay.
He normally hosts the Thursday show, and he messaged me during the show that we were talking about something else, and he messaged said, Eyewitness News is reaching out to me for comment about the complaint.
Right.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
Okay, that makes it even. Anyway, we can get into that because that.
And then he sent me a link. And I'm like, what? And I went through my emails. Did I miss something? What's going on here? But this is impossible. I just spoke to the gentleman in question on Monday. This is insane. And then it's on another, this is very, very, very interesting.
I mean, if you want to speak about being biased in the press, the process in which this whole thing played out shows you where the bias is.
Oh, because I don't think from what we saw posted by our competitors, did they reach out to IRCA or Guardian Radio? At least somebody from Eyewitness reached out to Earl. Oh my, look at that. But nothing else for any other side of the story.
I guess for the audience you want to play this up to, it works like that.
Today?
No, it works like that. But for people who know better, who understands the flow of information, this is not how you go about it, and that's not how you communicate a complaint.
Well, here's the other thing. I think people, as I said in the, as the article says, that if you listen to Earl, it's incredibly fair and balanced. And this is why Zhivargo has trusted him as well to host when he is not in. It is really unfair. But let's get your views on it. How do you feel? I know that our listeners, I don't want to put words in your mouths, but I'm pretty sure I get your responses. I hear what you're saying. Love Earl. You really do. And that's across all political sides. The political divide, as they say, right?
Yes.
And everybody regards him in very high esteem. But what is this? What is this about? What's going on here? Let's hear from you. 323-6232. 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Really don't like to be the news. We don't. But unfortunately, it's one of those days, thanks to... let's hear from you, though. Good morning, call you on the air.
Good morning, Mr.
Hey.
To you and your guest.
Good morning.
It was interesting. This was an interesting topic this morning because I was shocked pretty much by the attack the government had, the Prime Minister did on Mrs. Thames and The Guardian. At first I had to go and look at the Tribune to see if they ran any story on the surplus, which they did, but it appears as if he only had the issue with The Guardian.
I guess because of who she's related to, and that's really bizarre.
I just think it's the influence. I think he felt that the Guardian story probably had a bigger impact in terms of persons taking notice of the story. Probably felt that the Guardian should have not run the story based on the relationship that he has with
it can't work.
What? So what are we going to do? Just print the shipping report? I mean, what?
Man, because I'm thinking it's like personal, and then him being the government and his experience in politics, to hear him complain about a host.
Well, I don't know if it's him.
It's not him, but he had the office
Director
of the Prime
Communications.
Minister
Yeah.
complain about the host. And the reason why I call is because I'm an independent candidate, right? We don't really get much conversation in terms of the value of independent representation relating to the Constitution. You could agree that generally most hosts don't really have that conversation about and hear our voice or our input on governance, because it's always steering the country to vote for a particular person and a party. So you find Clinton Watson's political show, he has 4 panelists, but they're all political party representation. And there's no independent voice to represent us, which from the Constitution, it was written for representation from a constituency level first. So I always wondered, why would the media continue to push one narrative as if the country only could be, or constituencies can only be represented by party representation? And then to hear him or hear the office of the Prime Minister complain about something, a host being potentially biased, that's really like, the pot calling the tea kettle black. Because I'm over here saying that, okay, so who's going to fight for us as independent who don't want to be party representation, but also see a lot of things that are going on in the country, because we live in the country. It ain't like we live in outside of the Bahamas. I live in Garden Hills. So I know every day. I know when Boleg is in my community. I know when his persons are walking around. I know what's going on, and so I'm just confused that when he want to highlight, when the Prime Minister want to highlight something that he said that we all questioned from day one, the surplus. Any person does financials, you can't predict your current revenues, determine what your deficit plus every month equals your overall total revenues minus your total expenses, give you your break-even analysis, whether it's a profit or it's a deficit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
You come to the nation and tell me, who understand writing business plans and financial statements, that, hey, we're going to have a surplus of 75 million projected next year, but not knowing what we projected or have actually received this year.
Yeah.
And it's
very interesting. I just wanted you to know, as an independent, you're always welcome to call. I'm sure no one has ever told you can't call in. Who knows, you might get invited on to one of the shows to talk as well. So make yourself known, right? Let's take another call. Good morning. You're on the air. Hi. Good morning. Are you there? Hi, caller. Good morning. We can hear you.
Hey. Good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Good morning to your guest.
Good morning.
So Dwight, listen. So are they calling Earl more effort? I listen to Earl basically every day when he was on such a. I consider his comments very unbiased. In fact, he let the listeners state their opinion. Okay, state their opinion, and I have not heard anything that I consider too biased listening to him. So I don't know what's his problem. To be honest, because he gets paid for the PLP. So that's his job to do the PR for the PLP, right? But Pearly is cross the line, okay, as fair as can be in his political And when you get to the jumping, I want to call back, Dwight.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very
buddy.
much. Yeah. So I was kind of asking, do we need to file a complaint about what was happening before the election and what emerged after?
You definitely need to at this point because it's quite clear this is where the fight is at.
Almost every media house has an owner who's now an ambassador for the government. What's going on? What are we doing here?
You could go straight down the line. You don't have to stop at the ownership. You could go straight down the line. Reporters, editors, all now engage at the government level. Like this is, and I think the caller touched on it. I think he said that he was an independent, and this is where I raised the query. If we're going to move into this space and we're going to have this conversation about public relations when it comes to political parties and political aspirants, we have to then start the conversation at the point where it's a pay-to-play game. Like you align yourselves in spaces
where... I don't know if I like that.
Oh, no. I'm not talking from the media standpoint. What I'm talking about is the presentation standpoint. The caller just said Latre is paid to give the PR message of the Progressive Liberal Party. The Progressive Liberal Party has access to any audience in the Bahamas. They can pull up a call right now, be on ZNS tonight, be on R News tonight, be on Eyewitness tonight, and get whatever communication that they want out there. They could do it via press release.
And this station as well.
They could do it via press release. They could do it by WhatsApp blast. They could do it any which way possible. Because you now feel some sort of way about the message going out about the opposition, you don't attack the message. You attack the person's delivering that message. You took direct aim at Miss James. You called out her family relations to former cabinet minister. You're now taking direct aim at not only your show, but all of the shows on Guardian Radio, taking direct aim at the persons presenting messages on that point. You can't do it like that. You have access to the same audience. You play those same roles. As you said before, Latre has access. He can pull up the phone at any point in time, make his calls, give his points, and then go on. Nobody ever says, oh, you're... Now, all of a sudden, because it's on the opposite end, you want to dilute the market and say, well, you can't trust any of these sources because they're all biased to one side. That's ridiculous.
And almost every other available PLP is already working in some other capacity somewhere else, or too young or too dead to be able to make themselves available on one of our shows. Caller, what say you? Good morning.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Hi, you can hear me?
Yes, we can.
And good morning to your listeners. What the gentleman name?
This is Ricardo Wells.
Wells. Okay, good morning, Mr. Wells.
Good morning.
Yeah, I don't write my stuff down because I'm blind, so I can say this quick before I forget because this is very important to me. I don't know if some people would agree with it. This is just a big distraction on two of the stories, the one with the Prime Minister talking and the one with Mr. Rahman. You know how we feel about Mr. Rahman, what we think about him. He doesn't tell us what time it is. His job is to impress his boss. He said that on the show when it's come on TV. Like I said before I forget, Dwight, I thank God for you. You, Dwight Strachan. And for everything else, what helped you to be the person you are and where you are today. Dwight, I think both sides, political parties, would like a person for you to be off the air. Don't worry about all this picking and who family to who. And guess what? All of you all respected. Everybody who they picking with is well-respected people in the country. You understand? So I thank God for you. Like I say, I think if there's anyone they would have liked to take off, F&M and PLP to get Dwight off. Because all of us have needs and choices and we can make decisions.
Well, we certainly weren't in Menace's good books.
On behalf of the Bahamian people, I want to say thanks. Thank you, Lord, to have a person like Dwight Strachan. Sure, he ain't the only one. But this what God have here at this time for the last, 10, 15 years, we have here for us to be able to assist us in our everyday decisions making and to make some right decisions sometime rather than all this politics promises like the commercialists be saying and a bunch of foolishness with the prime.
Don't make this about me, but I appreciate the kind words. But I know you listen to Earl. I just want you to say this. You listen to Earl, and what do you make?
Hold on, I want to do it this way, please.
No, but I mean, I wanted to get your view on when he's on.
I will tell you, but if I tell you, I could slip and forget this important part with the Prime Minister. See, I disappointed as a PLP supporter with my Prime Minister, my leader. Okay, I always say they talk foolishness to us, and then when we say something, it's like they telling us we either being political or we have a beef with them or personal or something like that. Now, this thing with that lady report on, what's her name, Miss James?
Yeah.
A lot of people had questions with the surplus, the forecast, and all that. They were saying, I don't know where the forecast, because they don't see it in their cupboard when they open their cupboard or in their fridge or in their pocket. You know, so when it was printed, I don't know where the information come, who reported it first, but when I hear it on the news, and I like to hear your report with Quincy Thompson, I think he, on the opposition side, down what really, really happened. The Prime Minister, he could use the words and say he made a mistake and he misjudged and he didn't. I think he's doing a poor job as the Minister of Finance. And with his financial secretary, they got to take blame. And when people point out things to them, who educated people do their research and point out things to them, take your blame. How you want help position, be in charge, and you don't want to take responsibility. When things happen good, you want to take credit. So I disappointed with this. This thing with Earl Pearl, but you knock it on there. You caused me scream like a little gal this morning. Yes, we love Pearlie. Yes, we love Earl, right? We love him. People like him in Chicago, we don't see politics like that. You understand like that? Because they fair, they decent. How you say, decent people. They talk to people sensibly. They agree to disagree. Listen, if it was the decision when I hear that thing on TikTok, the trade really disappointed me, boy. I'd be ashamed sometimes to say it's a PLP, but it's a nationalist way. But Pearl, I say, if it's anything, if they say the law, say the Guardian got to do something with Earl Pearl, man, I'll tell Pearlie, man, Pearlie resign from whatsoever you're doing in the communication and thing, and you still can help the party or whatsoever, because there's a bunch of picking and foolishness what they talking about. I would have said the Guardian keep him. That man ain't doing nothing wrong. They hate him, no, like how everybody love him and what he's be talking about. Look at Chicago line, we don't. Dwight ain't too much hard like you. I tell you, if it's anyone, they pick it. Dwight, please, if you all make a decision, they're Pearlie doing a great job. He's doing a good job. Aaron Green, we love her too. Okay? They doing a good job. Listen to me, the main thing I tell you all, this a distraction. What the Guardian had to do, Miss Deems and everybody, you all please stay focused and report and you do your all research and do what you have to do. It ain't like we trying to overthrow government, but if the government see joking, we'll move them FNM or PLPs. Come on, you all stay focused. Yeah? Listen to me, Dwight, this is a big distraction. Wait, if you're going to say things on the radio, you tell them CYC, the tray, CYC.
Wow. That's rough. Okay, we're going to get another report to Urka now. Thank you, Bob. I really appreciate those words.
No, but it's all, again, this is a movement to destroy the messengers.
Yeah.
And
it's only going to get worse.
And this is the point I'm trying to make. It can't kill if you're failing at any of your politics, you create your public relations arms to figure out the best way to go about it. Not destroy the other messaging points. That's ridiculous. They're going Scotch-Oi this morning for no reason.
Yeah.
For no reason. Like, if you listen to all the person's call, if you listen to Pearlie's engagement, you would clearly see that his politics discussion is separate and apart from what he does in terms of the show.
Absolutely.
But anyway.
Let's take another call. Good morning, caller, on the air. Hi, are you there? Good morning. Yes, good morning, caller, you're on the air.
Yes, how you doing, Dwight?
Good morning.
Hey, good morning, and good morning, Wells.
Good morning.
What you do is, after you pick all the low-hanging fruits, you throw a rock at the high ones.
Sometimes they don't hit, though.
So, what is happening is you have an economy in decline, government in crisis, and our current leadership of that government has reached what is called Peter's Principle, the level of incompetence, right? And so it's a verge of collapse. And everything is being questioned, and everything's being questioned. So essentially, what the strategy is deflect, and deflect. Strategic attack. And Dwight, I'll explain an explanation on, not to call people names on the air. But there's a process going back to 2012 concerning having control of the media. I'm very aware of it, all the way to when you pretty sure. When you remember the company from Facebook to the Bahamas, this is one of the strategies that they say: buy the media, destroy the media. You remember the Cambridge Analytica that came here 2011, 2012?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I was there. So you buy the media, destroy the media, and so what you're seeing is a continuation, or no, a rebirth of that, because it didn't happen to defend the 2017, because of course that leader needed to go. But now what you're seeing within the party is a rebirth of that whole thing. Now, if you look at the 2021, you saw the buy the media. and like you say, and there's nothing left. And what they've left is not reaching across in the messaging that is happening. Just look at the message that the Prime Minister said. Instead of coming to the public with his power bill, he says, you're using too much power, that's why your light bill high. And the easiest thing for him to do, and Latre should be able to handle this, show us the rate from last summer and show us the rate from now. Regardless of our consumption, his conversation is that he promised lower electricity costs, not for my consumption. So, and this is where they use the distraction, rewording, whatever it is. So essentially, Dwight, don't worry about it. I think Pearlie is extremely balanced. And just let me understand this. Chicago Line has a reputation to maintain as part of the Public Policy Institute.
Yeah.
As well as his show. I think Chicago Line is a very deliberate thinker. And I don't think that he would have taken Pearl, because Pearl didn't just start hosting the show. Pearl has been on the air longer before he started hosting the show. And he would not have chosen him to sit as a substitute if he thought it would damage his show's image.
Absolutely.
Or reflect badly on him as such. And so, it is what it is. The PLP is in crisis. Goodbye. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. I don't know if I would have said that necessarily last week, but after this week, you have to wonder now, right? Because this is insane. And what are you distracting us from? What indeed? There are bigger things going on that we need to be concerned about, but this is crazy. Caller, I've got a lot of calls and we've got a lot of text messages. Want to get through as many of these as possible. Good morning. What say you on this?
Good morning to you and Mr. Wells.
Hi, good morning.
Let me move quickly on 3 points. Pearl, denial of service that they're trying to do to you, and this fellow who can't account. I always tell Pearl that the pearly gates, I think he can be the one there to get me in, and I'm looking forward to that. If not him, probably I'll see my mother. But this denial of service that the PM is trying to use IRCA to put on you guys, it's totally unfair, because when he's ready, he attacks. And trust me, as you can clearly see, he talked about the jobs that you never had, even though you had jobs. So you know how that goes. So be careful here, because he could use, like to our neighbors to the north, use the system like IRCA and all of the relevant agencies.
Well, let's not go there, because IRCA is impartial. They are very fair. And I'm not just saying it because they are regulated, but we know them. We work with them very closely. I'm on boards at IRCA and the committees and stuff. Not boards, committees at IRCA. Boards is something else. And so we are IRCA, and IRCA is us, and whatever. Does that make sense? They are fair and balanced.
So you don't
I don't know about
IRCA.
political parties, but that's not quite how it works.
Okay, but remember some time ago I told you, Dwight, that 1 + 1 is not always 2. And this is the math that our Prime Minister is using, because in binary, there is no 2. That's why he could say he has a $2 million deficit and then call it a $1 million surplus, because he's using the 1 + 1 in binary, you get 1 0. But if you look at it in decimal, you call it 10. And this is the issue that I think he has, not directly, but someone need to help him to use base 10. All right? Because now, can you not imagine, right, if he were responsible for calculating and balancing the rate of an aircraft, or the amount of fuel you need to do a transport.
Well, okay, so you see, you're doing the same thing that they're doing. It's not one person doing all these things. It's not personal. Why are we making it personal?
Oh, it isn't personal.
Well, I mean, they're making it personal.
So it is personal.
But it's not the Minister of Finance doing all this stuff. There's a whole team. Okay. There's all kinds of people. These are the numbers. Sometimes numbers, I mean, they're basing revenue based on how much money we give them.
All right.
And how much money people come to the country give them. And if people say, I'm not doing this anymore, they're going to have a shortfall. So it's a very shaky type of thing to have the economy based on, right? And we know this is tough. And it is easy not to meet the projections. Very easy, which is why it's so risky. But it's bigger than one man, I believe.
It is.
Well,
it
definitely
is.
bigger than the Minister of Finance. Maybe somebody else who's the one. Anyway, caller, good morning. You're on the air. Hi, are you there? Oh, okay. Hi, good morning.
Candias Garbage.
Wow. Okay, that's a PLP supporter there. So you see that that's a human being. And this is how it is. So, right? And not one time has Latre Ramming or anybody from that organization condemned that caller who always does this. Not once have they said we don't support his tactics, because I suspect they endorse it.
This is why I made the point earlier on. We're in it right now. This is where the mix-up happens. This is where the confrontation happens. We're in it right now. So when you design systems like this, it becomes tit for tat. We don't want that. This is not the point of any of these shows or any of these communications. Oh boy, you're a better man than me, Dwight.
Got a whole lot of interesting messages we want to get to, but let's see if we can get through the calls. Good morning, call. You're on the air. Are we on hold? Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Okay. Okay. Let's take another one. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yes. Good morning, Dwight and Mr. Wells.
Good morning.
Very.
Okay, breaking up. Let's take another one.
Morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Hi, and to your guest. Pleasant good morning.
Good morning.
Dwight, here's the thing. I partially blame you guys. I think you got an offer letter and you just refused to go like some of your colleagues.
Who's you?
I think that
Who's the you you're talking about?
Problem. Let me just put it out there. But anyway, Dwight, listen.
An offer for what?
Tell him resend it. Let me.
Which country?
To join some of the. Don't forget now. When this administration took office, they harvested the media houses.
Mm-hmm, that's good. I like that word.
They did.
Mm-hmm.
They absolutely did. But that was an indicator, in my humble view, of the power that they realized was had, especially during the last election cycle. Look at who was harvested. Right? So let's leave that one alone. Many listeners, myself being one of those.
I did ask Urca if we could retroactively have a review, and they said they can't go back that far. I'm serious about that. I did ask.
Right. My thing is simply this. Many listeners you guys have these fellas on, and I don't know if it's an agreement that you have with them that many of them don't take questions, respond to the public directly, whatever it is. And I know
it's a courtesy. If they wish not to take calls, we abide by it, and we get lots of flack for it. But maybe we should tell them, if you can't talk to our listeners, then get from around here.
Which was taking me to my point, Dwight. Many people are upset with the generosity that you guys extend for the minutia. Knowing full well, but you all have to be in the studio and smell some of that stuff. I'm sorry, pardon the expression. But Dwight, this is a silly season. If people want to limit you guys doing your jobs, many of them reach out to you guys, I'm sure, to interview and talk about what they're doing and be heard. So
and some of them are fantastic.
Leaders,
Some of them are fantastic and do not refuse.
Which is my point. You can't be selective in us reporting or doing our job as an independent media and state-protected entity. Bring on community leaders when they want to talk, or people that are actually doing stuff in the community. That's the power of your organization.
Yeah.
Thanks for allowing me to
contribute. Thank you very much. And I do want to say, so I don't understand this, because,
Go ahead.
Requested that we have more cabinet ministers, especially on the afternoon shows, and they have decided in their mind that no, this is unfriendly territory. I don't know what it is.
This is simply a play to control the narrative.
But
this is simply a play to control the narrative.
But it shows you how they feel about debates and having potentially uncomfortable conversations. I don't know what it is.
It's easier to spin the very minute details when you don't speak about the fact. Audience where you could just tell them, well, hey, don't listen to the Guardian, they're biased. See? Look who write this.
Right.
Look who was on the station. You can then spin that into whatever traction you want.
That's right.
And we're in the silly season.
So you have people thinking, they never have PLPs on, but you've refused to send.
This is why, and I agree with the last call.
You're boycotting the shows,
this
and
is
then
reason I
saying
agree with
the show is
call.
biased?
You can go ahead. This is the time you put all of that out there. So persons can understand, no, we're actively behind the scenes trying to get these persons to come and sit in these seats and have these conversations.
Yeah. Oh, all the time. I've screenshotted the conversations and all others. But I do want to say the ones who do come on from this administration, Chester Cooper always makes himself available, Michael Halkitis, Fred Mitchell's never turned me down. But there's a few who are refusing to talk to us. Glenn San Martin also talks with us. Pia Glover was here recently, and we salute all the ones who do come from the cabinet, but a whole lot of
This is not
Wayne
how you-
Monroe, of course, is here
This is
frequently.
not how you deal with bad press.
I don't
You
understand
deal with
what's
bad
going
press
on.
by presenting the facts and working your way out of it. Anybody in the media would tell you that.
I've been informed that some specific names, I have the names, and what's the reason? You have a problem with me? You have a problem with the hosts on this station? Or do you have a problem with the electorate, the people who put you in power? Who is it? Because we're just 4 or 5 people. Interesting. Good morning, call. But they were here before the election, though. Oh, boy. All the time.
That's the easiest way because you just have to rail on the party in charge at that point in time.
Same thing happened with the previous administration. Here all the time. Many of them were hosts. And then when they became cabinet ministers, never heard from them again.
Wow.
This is across the board with these two parties, this party system.
And I
we
think
have
that's the
here.
point that needs to be hammered down right here. Because this is not a rail against the PLP. This happens on both
Every
sides.
time. We've been through what? How many? Four elections we've been on the air, and it happens every time. Every time. They only know us when they're in the opposition. Caller, you got 45 seconds. Hi. Are you there? Let's take the other one. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, the PLP is.
Okay. Caller, you are on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Brother Wells.
Good morning.
Dwight, I getting ready to call like for you right now, man. Just a touchy topic. You can't let people talk for 15 and 20 minutes. Now, like how you say, Dwight, we love Pearly. You know we love Pearly. Now, Dwight, everyone know I vote DNA for 15 years, 3 elections.
Oh, dear.
And I was an independent in 2007 before that. And me and
Spoiled your ballot. You spoiled
Huh?
your ballot. You spoiled your ballot then. No, only joking.
No, I vote DNA
Yeah,
3
yeah,
times.
you're right, yeah.
And then I vote for Tennessee Wells independent. But Pearly know that. And Pearly is still allowing me to call. We'll be going back and forward. Pearly will tell me, I believe you need to come inside the party and everything and try to deal with it within. And I say, well, then let's try that. You go on in the PLP. I'm there for them a little years now. Back to the third party. Back and forth. We still best friends. But the church, Romilly talking foolishness. He need to go talk to Bodie, Auckland H. Bodie, my best friend, and he's the biggest PLP propagandist on the LBF. How come they ain't saying nothing with him? He's be wearing a pinch out every day, Lincoln Green every day. And Dwight, everybody have a bias, man. If you want, you vote for the F&M, if you vote for the COI or the PLP, you want your party win. So human nature, everybody have a little bias. I want the Miami Heat and the Miami Dolphins win. I have a bias to watch them. So that's human nature. But they talking foolishness. Go deal with Ramen, with Auckland H. Bodie, them and all them PLP propaganda. All right.
Thanks a lot. Okay, we're going to go to the news. We're going to pick this up on the other side. Some special guests are going to call in too, I think. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio. Stay tuned.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on cable, Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. And now at 8:27, time for a final look at weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. Here's what's happening. A ridge of high pressure that's going to maintain stable conditions across the country, along with moderate to locally strong breezes. Meanwhile, a plume of Saharan dust is going to decrease shower chances and create hazy skies. That surface ridge is going to gradually weaken, though, and reduced wind speeds over the islands on Saturday through to early next week. Stable conditions will remain across the area until Sunday, when a surface trough is expected to enhance shower chances and cloudiness, especially over the central and southeast Bahamas. And there remains a risk of rip currents along eastern shorelines of the central and southeast Bahamas. Your forecast for today: for most areas, mostly sunny and hazy, turning mainly fair tonight. We are expecting only about a 10% chance of showers. High temperatures around 93 Fahrenheit, 34 Celsius, with the heat index will make it feel like it's 102 Fahrenheit, 39 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 82 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. In your extended outlook for Saturday, tomorrow mostly sunny, turning fair at night, a 10% chance of showers. Sunday, partly sunny and hazy for the northern and northwest Bahamas, partly cloudy to cloudy in the central and southeastern islands. A 30% chance for showers and possible thunderstorms for the central and southeast Bahamas. By the start of the work week next week, Monday, we are looking at mostly sunny conditions, 10% chance of showers. That's going to hold for Tuesday into Wednesday before we see a mix of sun and clouds for Thursday. In the tropics, there's a broad area of low pressure over the north-central Gulf of Mexico. It's producing an area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms. Slow development of the system is possible over the next day or so, while it moves generally west-northwestward across the northern Gulf. The system has a 10% chance, that's a low chance, of tropical cyclone formation. That's your morning blend weather check, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. Walls looking a little Well, give your walls a fresh coat of wow with Sherwin-Williams paints. Best customer service, bold colors, and bargain prices. They've got it all. Sherwin-Williams, let's roll. It's time for a check of traffic, brought to you by RBC. With RBC, reaching your goals happens here. In real-time traffic, we're seeing some slow-moving traffic on Milo Butler Highway, but definitely manageable. You're going to see just that line of traffic in front of you once you get north of Harold Pond, closer to the roundabout with Tonique Williams-Darling Highway. Traffic backed up a bit along Tonique Williams-Darling Highway as well, westbound to that roundabout. Blue Hill Road, as usual, busy for you. And once you're north of Soldier Road, if you're heading northbound on the way to Independence Drive, as you get over that hill. And East Street is seeing busy, slow-moving traffic northbound, north and south of the Soldier Road intersection on the way to the roundabout with East-West Highway. Pockets along Prince Charles Drive, especially at the intersection with Soldier Road, and as you're heading into Robinson Road, slow-moving westbound traffic at this hour. And in heading into downtown, just east of Arawaki on West Bay Street, some slow-moving traffic both directions, east and west of Nassau Street. It's real-time traffic in your Morning Blend Traffic Alert, brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers, your partner for smart motor insurance and advice that puts you first. Whether you're at home or on the go, getting an instant motor quote is easy. Visit your nearest branch or log in anytime at nuainsurance.com.
Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas, there the Athlete's Foot and BTC, Games and More, John Bull Fine Threads, Alive, Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's Clarkson Island Luck, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
When can I open my eyes?
Not yet. Okay, open. Do you see what I see?
It just looks like land to me.
It's our land, son. A wise investment that will grow with you.
Invest in land with CIBC Caribbean and we'll give you US $250 towards your valuation cost and 50% for Caribbean land financing. You can choose to build, hold, or pass on to your children. Visit CIBCCaribbean.com to learn more. Conditions apply.
Get ready to catch the thrill and win with
Shell. Fuel up with $20 or more and unlock your shot at unforgettable prizes.
We're talking regatta trips to Exuma and Harbor Island.
Free fuel, grocery vouchers, water park passes, and more. Just snap your receipt and WhatsApp it to us at 242-422-0271. The vibes are high, the prizes are hot, and the summer is yours to win with Shell. Only at participating Shell stations in Nassau. Now through August 22nd. Terms and conditions apply.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
Can you see me? I'm bruised, frequently absent, depressed, and even distracted. Can you see me? I might be branded with tattoos, over-sexualized, and controlled by a person that is older than me. Can you see me? I might always have a bodyguard, fearful, and never have access to my identification card. Can you see me? I might always sound scripted or rehearsed, and I wrote this verse so that you would be able to see me. If you think someone is a victim of trafficking in persons, call police emergency contact at 919 or Crime Stoppers at 328-8477. This message is being brought to you by the Ministry of National Security.
Wendy's and Coca-Cola is giving away up to $25,000 of hot cash this summer. To enter, upgrade any premium combo from 1 through 12 to a medium or a large for your chance to win the grand prize of $10,000. Don't miss your chance to win big this summer. Visit your neighborhood Wendy's, upgrade your favorite lunch combo, and win hot cash. Rules and restrictions apply.
Long and winding road that leads to your door will never disappear. I've seen that road before. Don't leave me standing here.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Ricardo Wells on this Friday morning. And it's an interesting morning. I guess every once in a while you end up
being the news,
right? On multiple fronts today. So the Prime Minister attacking executive editor of the Nassau Guardian, Candia Dames, and Office of the Prime Minister, Director of Communications, Latrey Ramming, lodging a complaint against Guardian Radio. But never ever telling us that there was a concern about it. And we're not even really sure what the concern is. Just the fact that somebody is an occasional host who is affiliated with a political party, although, anyway. Okay.
No claim of bias. No supporting
they didn't
documents
say that.
to show bias.
They didn't say. They just wonder.
It's speculation
if
to
there
say,
could
hey,
be.
can you look at this for me, please, and tell me if there's anything wrong with
You
this?
could ask us and say, hey, can you show us whether,
I needed.
send me some
I got
clips.
everything I needed to know about that complaint from the first paragraph. That's it.
And the fact that they didn't send it to us.
Yes.
All right. So, Javarga Lang, host of Z Live, is with us, and Earl Thompson's been filling in for him for the past 2 weeks and occasionally fills in. Good morning, Javarga. Great to have you with us.
Hey, good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Brother Wells. It's good to talk to you guys. I was enjoying my little break, but then I got all this news.
Yeah, my goodness, right? What do you make of all of it?
Well, let me say three quick things, Dwight. You will recall that I called you and I asked you one day, who was that pearly fella
Absolutely.
who's hosting Naughty Show?
Because
I didn't know him. I didn't know Earl Thompson as Pearly.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said he seems so balanced. He seems so sensible in his commentary, etc. And been searching for someone to relieve me occasionally because Hubert Edwards was doing it, but Hubert was engaged in his law studies, etc. And I just thought he was a great find.
Yeah.
And to
this conversation
day, that's
absolutely
why I'm
happened.
calling, and I didn't want to leave this hanging. To this day, I still believe he's a great find. I listen to the show when he's on it and what have you, and I find him balanced. I find him sensible. He listens to FNM, PLP, COI. He expresses sometimes his point of view, but I find it pretty much like I would do when I'm on the show, and therefore that's why I'm comfortable doing it, right?
And to show things, and you know, you can make a case that perhaps he should declare, and everyone should. I mean, I don't know how the country would react if certain people were to declare what's going on with their political affiliations, right? But a case could be made. But the fact that a lot of people found out for the first time yesterday, they were in shock. Like they did not know because they couldn't tell.
Yeah, exactly. The thing about it is someone could declare that. They have no obligation to do so. But here's the thing. The appearance of bias does not bias itself make.
Wow.
The Prime Minister of our country is a PLP. Okay? He is a PLP. There are thousands and thousands of FNMs in the Bahamas. Should they think every time he acts, he cannot act for them?
Mm-hmm.
He's a PLP, and so is his cabinet ministers and his members of parliament. So the appearance, because I hold a position, is I am biased alone. It's what I in fact do that would determine it. So had they made this complaint, and trust me when I tell you, I know they knew what Earl and who Earl was when he started hosting.
Oh, absolutely. They knew.
Had they had a concern then, they could have expressed it then. Since he's been hosting now for umpteen times for shows, they could have expressed it then. Why now?
Yeah. What do you think? Yeah, I'm sure you have a theory. Is it just because the election is close?
I told you guys a long time ago, man. Election is coming. Everybody gets more sensitive, and so watch out. This is only the beginning.
Oh, yes.
Been saying it all morning.
And it especially, so that's the second point I wanted to make. I was surprised that an office that is speaking so glowingly of its effort, its deeds, of what is happening in the country, would be sidetracked by this. Seriously, think about that for a moment. Right? You could boast about this and boast about that. An occasional talk show host becomes the subject of your inquiry. And then secondly, the Candia Dane's headline.
Yeah.
Just listen to the show on Monday. Because
Okay.
I will take that up.
Okay. Can't wait.
I thought it was both things speaks wonders to me about the emotional disposition of the party and the government at this time.
Yeah, very much
But
so.
this is election time. FNMs in office get anxious during election time. That's why ministers and them would cuss Candia, and the PLP would be delighted about it.
Right. We remember that.
Dwight and them would cuss minister administration, and they'd be delighted about it. Shivago Lang would criticize the minister administration, compliment the Progressive Liberal Party's leader, and they would be delighted about it. Because at election time, everything gets revved up, right? And everybody gets more sensitive. FNM, PLP, COI, everybody, because popularity is the currency of politics, and anything that they think threatens their currency becomes a challenge. And this is on all sides of the political divide.
Wow.
Right? So I think that's a part of it. This is election time, and sometimes people do things for their base.
Yep.
So they may not themselves think it's a big deal, but if you keep getting calls from people shouting at you, "Oh, do that," well, you throw a little red meat to the bait you throw a little red meat to the base by doing something that says you're doing something about what they feel so anxious about.
Right. Interesting.
And so a part of that could be that too.
Yeah.
And I guess just finally, I think you made a very sound point. I can say this very quickly about this thing, about forecasting. You know, you make the point that it's forecasting, and so things can intervene and cause you not to meet your forecast. I don't think forecasting is at the heart of why someone would raise their eyebrows at a forecast that suggested $100 million plus something and end up with a $2 million something in the opposite direction. It's not the forecast. It's the size of the error.
Yeah.
Okay, well, give me an explanation, and they did. They gave an explanation and so forth. But you can't, on the one hand, go around forecasting things and boasting and saying how historic it is. And then on the other hand, if a forecast you made doesn't come true, then you start telling people, what are you all talking about? It was only a forecast. You see what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that's part of the challenge. But I just thought it was unfair to Earl. I think he does a wonderful job on all the shows that he's on. I think he's fair. And I think the inquiry was really just unfortunate.
Yeah.
And this narrative that the Guardian is this and the Guardian is that, it's hard for people who are extreme partisans to appreciate it. But when the FNM was in office and that same Guardian was ripping them to shreds, nobody said, oh, but you know, Marvin Deems is a member of that administration.
Not then.
And Candia was as sharp, as incisive as she was then. And sometimes she wrote editorials I did not agree with her with, and I would call her and tell her. But as a broad commentary on her journalistic professionalism, man, please.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well,
Monday.
We can't wait. Can't wait to hear it.
Yeah,
Thank you,
man.
Zhivago. Appreciate it. We'll tune in
bye-bye.
2 o'clock on Monday. All right. So, and as he mentioned, I think that is deflecting, right? So everyone's looking at he attacked Candia Dames, but hey, what about that?
I told
you that miss there. You really didn't miss the target. We got to really talk about it. Nope.
I said it from we opened the show this morning. This is, and Mr. Lang said it best. This is just tossing out red meat to a rabid. You would call them voter base. I would call them a fan base at this point. That's all this is.
I thought you were going to say a different word.
Oh boy,
but okay. But right now we're being decent today. Wow. So we're getting your reaction. I have a whole lot of text messages to get to. But let's take another call and then we'll get back to those. Good morning, caller. Are you there? Hi, caller. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Dwight, and good morning, Mr. Wells.
Good morning.
You know, Latre glories when Howard Grant excoriates the FNM. You know, when Howard comes and he say how incompetent the FNM is.
You know that for a fact?
In all his glory, you know.
That's...
I've listened to Earl from time he was on, and Earl, he says, I take off my political hat. I'm a nationalist. And he displays that on his shows. I don't know where the trait is coming from. And, you know, when the Prime Minister is saying that, okay, it was just a forecast. But how can your forecast go from, I could see if you would just offer a couple of $1 million, but my God, $100 million? Wait, some heads have to roll. I listened to, or I watched, or somewhere in one of those Asian countries where this minister made a particular forecast, right? And she was wrong. She had to resign. She had to resign from her post because she said something that made the public believe it wasn't so. We have to hold our leaders accountable, okay? We are paying these guys big money to make these forecasts and something like that, and it's no way the Prime Minister can continue to come back one gaffe after the other. We are still waiting to find out what happened to the $120 million for the hotel in the bankers yet? Is the money in the bank? See, when you say something, you have to be accountable for it, man. And to expect that the Bahamian people is just going to sit back and take everything that you say, days are gone. We are no longer sheeple. We have the ability to think for ourselves.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hello.
Hey, is this who I think it is?
What's going on, Dwight?
It's Naughty from Talking Heads. Okay, so everybody's calling in to defend their shows and defend Pearly.
Well, actually, I call first and foremost to thank Mr. Rahman for the free material. You know, as a comedian, you know, irony is big on our list. You know what I mean? And trust me, you can't even write the jokes this morning, Dwight. I can't even stop putting the pen to paper. They're writing themselves this morning. I'm having quite the laugh on this. But I will say, who would have thought, when I told Pearly 3.5 years ago when I first joined Guardian, listen, fill in on Thursday so I could coach youth sports, how it would have mushroomed to where it is today. I'm amazed that 3.5 years ago they didn't have any issue with Pearly doing his thing. And now this morning, we got an issue with Pearly. What happened?
Well, again, you know what's supposed to happen within a year or so. So I guess that's it. The heat is on. The pressure's on.
His commentary hasn't changed one way, shape, or form.
No.
So I don't see the transition. I don't see the, you know.
Yeah, it is questionable. So you're going to be tackling this later today as well, I guess?
Oh, well, I'm in full Stephen Colbert, Bill Maher mode right now. So, yeah, we're going to definitely have a great show as we always do on Talking Heads.
So
we have a laugh.
We don't want two complaints.
We do because there's one show that's always going to ask the tough questions is Talking Head time slot that I'm in. My predecessor, Mr. Jeff Lloyd, he used to give people a haircut and a shave. Natasha Block, just before she became an ambassador in Canada, was taking the previous administration to the woodshed, asking the tough questions. So that comes with the territory. If you're going to come on Talking Heads, you got to be well-researched and ready to answer the tough questions and talk. With a vote for you, you should at least have the common courtesy to express yourself and let them know how you feel.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And the funny thing about it is, I have PLP friends who are MPs who, when that show, when Talking Heads was on Shirley Street, we couldn't get them out the studio. And similar to what you said today, now it's, we don't want to come on the show. Well, you got to answer the tough questions. Yeah. And if you can't answer the tough questions, then obviously, you know, the citizenry and the voters are saying there's an issue. Why can't you answer the questions? I mean, to be honest with you, when you...
Phone keeps breaking up.
And I've been told personally by MP friends of mine who are on the PLP, Naughty, I love you, I won't come on the show, but they don't want me to come, I can't come.
Oh, boy. Wow.
And out of respect to those MPs, I'm going to keep it private, but I do have the receipts.
Yeah, you better keep them. All right. So you promise you're not going to cause us to have another complaint issued to Urga today, right?
I can't promise that. I told you I'm in Stephen Colbert, Bill Maher mode, so you might have to let legal and corporate listen today.
Oh, I'm sure they will be. Okay. We look forward to it. Talking Heads, 4 p.m. today, right here in Guardian.
And I just want to let you know, our special guest today, you know, because they accept the invitation and they're prepared to come on and answer the tough questions. And since I guess most of the PLP MPs are handcuffed and muzzled from coming on the show, we have the MP for St. Anne's, Mr. Adrian White, will be on today, and Adrian has no problem answering the tough questions. So we'll have a great interview with him this afternoon.
Oh, I see. Studio with you all.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Well, I know that corporate and legal will be in the studio anyway. Once MJ's in the studio, corporate and legal always want to be in the studio.
Interesting. Yeah. Thank you very much. Naughty will be tuned in 4 p.m. this afternoon right here on Guardian Radio. Oh, boy. Okay. All right. The phone lines are all lit up. We've got a whole lot of text messages. This is...
Turned out to be a Friday. I showed up today.
Well, I really you gotta process it though. What are we doing here? As you mentioned it before, we've seen it. They gutted the media. Dwight Strachan says that in this article here. They gutted the media before. Is this another attempt to do that? They can't gut certain people, and so they try to silence them. You try to
that's
complain
exactly
about them. Is that what's happening here?
I need you to correct that. This is not a complaint. It's worded as a complaint, but it's not a complaint. The structure in which this was disseminated tells you all you need to know. This was exactly what Mr. Lang to the base to let persons know that, hey, we checking them because y'all asked. Well, in this case, yes. Yes. I got to say a clip slide just now. Sorry, I keep forgetting I on a national talk show.
Right. Don't need any more complaints. Caller, good morning. What say you on this? Are you there? Hi, turn on your radio for us, please.
Hey, morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well.
Hey, we're going down so, man, because, I mean, Pearlie, I listen to the show every day, and Pearlie never displayed any form of political, either FM or PLP. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know Pearlie used to even vote.
Yeah.
So, what the problem is with Pearlie?
We're all trying to figure out.
Because, like I say, I can see them blaming Pearlie for being a Laker fan. But Pearlie never said he was a FNM or PLP or even displayed. If anything, Howard more displayed which political view he has.
Let's focus, though. Let's focus.
None of y'all ever displayed any form of political views.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going down, so?
You know, I've said it before that depending on what's going on in your life, you hear very different things when you listen to Guardian Radio, even at the same time as everybody else. So
but you know fully well. I listen to the show every single day, and I never once heard Pearlie once even displayed an ounce of or any signs of being PLP, FNM, or CIA, CC, whatever former group is. Yeah, them.
Well, we wouldn't know about CIA, right? But COI. Thank you very much.
Whoever it is.
Right. Yeah. I suspect some CIA for real. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Your lies too much.
Oh my gosh. Okay. See, it's between Ladre and this one. This is how they do communications.
I can say it for the record. I think the PLP and the FNM, both of them should just acquire. What's the name of the caller just now?
They've done that, though.
No, what's the name of the caller just now?
We don't speak his name.
He's going to go head-to-head with you. From 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the morning, he could say everything. He could get everything off it. No?
Don't give them that idea.
Just say it. It could work. And then you could follow up with whoever else right thereafter. Why? Okay, let me leave that alone because I get in trouble.
Broadcast at live at Sandlands. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, are you there? No, let's take this line. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, Dwight. How y'all guys doing this morning?
We're trying to make it.
Yeah, I just want to address something real quick, and I promise you it's real quick. I think that, nobody is mentioning that the press secretary, the closest, who is a political appointed position to and the voice and the face of the government, has the job to shape the governor's narrative and defend his action publicly, now hosts on the national broadcaster. He left that job, and in short order, he was at ZNS as the general manager and hosting, right, a show on TV. No one has an issue with that.
Plenty of people have an issue, but did anyone file a complaint?
No.
Right? So, perhaps someone should.
That's what I'm saying. So what we are doing, we are calling for Clint Watson, right, Erica, to deal with that situation at ZNS.
But do they really need to do that? I mean, you have options, you have choices, we have freedom of speech, and if that's how it is, at least you.
But if you for Pearlie, Earl Thompson, you should be calling for that in public because y'all are private, and y'all have a disclaimer at the beginning of each show, which falls in line. I can be honest with you, and I agree with Chivago line. I listen to you guys' show every day. I know Mr. Thompson personally, and did not know he was Pearlie on the radio show. I said, this voice sounds familiar, until he said that his dad was a former politician, and then I said, oh, this is Earl Thompson. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know that was Earl Thompson because he did not represent anything FNM on that show. So Mr. Lang is correct in his assessment. I did not know.
Yeah.
So, come on, man. If you...
But I get what you're pointing. Right?
Exactly. Come and speak to you guys and express displeasure before, but no, that request for him to be removed. That's foolishness.
I don't know if they did that, but
it was not a request for him to be removed. It was just
for IRCA to investigate. Yeah. But again, it's all well and good. You could do that, but to leak it to the rest of the media, that is just really, really pathetic.
We know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys.
But hey, we all love leaks, so I guess it's fine. That's the only way you find out information around here. Leak it. But anyway, but just be aware of what they're into. What they're into.
I don't think it needs to go to the point where you need to open up a IRCA claim for every media gas channel host. Like, that's ridiculous.
It would never stop.
But what I'm trying to say is, you can clearly look at Mr. Watson and his capacity over at ZNS right now and see that his show, his nightly show, is open to be a dialogue, a space for dialogue. There's no need for us to say, oh, he's being partisan, because it's quite clear that's not it. Mm-hmm. It's there to present the issues, challenge government, point. You bring in people from all organizations, all parties. I've cracked a joke yesterday. I've seen the COI on ZNS more in the last 2 weeks than probably in the last 2 years. So this is where you get into the ridiculous nature of politics. Mm-hmm. What is going on right now, and the statement put out yesterday was exactly what Mr. Lang said it was. This was simply to say to the PLP base, we're going to check the media, particularly a media entity that we have a huge issue with. We're going to check them and try to silence them the best way possible.
Huge issue? What's the issue? You tried to shut us down by hiring half of our editorial staff and half of our... And they're still around, so we got to give them another dose of the...
You could say it better than I can.
Anyway, what is the issue? These cockroaches are still around after we gutted them?
To the point that they could still disseminate quality information.
Oh.
That's the issue.
Okay.
That's the issue.
I see.
Because, hey, take in consideration, all media outlets yesterday ran the story about the numbers. Which media outlet was called up?
Yeah.
That's where we
very
can,
interesting.
That's where we could start to draw the line and make our own inferences on these issues.
Very interesting point. Wow. It's getting deep, folks. It's getting very deep. Caller, what say you on this? You're on the air live. Hi, yes, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Dwight, I think you hit the nail around the head. Mm-hmm. I was just about to say, I've forgotten the media, especially Guardian Radio. We're going to do.
And the National Guardian. Yes, both of us.
Yeah. Then they took one McCartney. I thought that was the end of it, too. But you guys did a great job. Now, let me just say, I will give you a perfect example of what happened to me. I was released to Kadia Davis and the lady who does the editorial for the Tribune. You with me?
We're listening. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When I was at Restaurant Davis, I wanted to put a system in place where the employers who were applying work permit for certain persons, I wanted them to name the understudy where applicable and give us an understudy program. That was challenged by the Chamber of Commerce. And I can remember Candia Danes, my good friend, I consider our friend, ripped me to pieces in editorials. Mm-hmm. And then Miss Editorial from the Tribune came and did the same thing. Mm-hmm. And the bad thing about it was Candia Danes specifically said I was trying to revive an old A.D. Hanna dehumanization policy. You would have thought that Hannah Martin would have jumped to the defense of her father. One PLP opened their mouth because the FNM was in power, even though that was more in favor of them than it was in favor of the FNM. But I was just carrying out the instructions of the then Prime Minister. The minister said to me, John, try to help Bahamians find jobs. So the best way for me to do is ensure these people give me an understudy program and I can have a team follow up. Now, let me just show you how it works. It didn't come to fruition while I was there. I started to put it in place. I had a team. I called them the special project team to deal with that. But PLP took that so serious when they came to power. They moved the former Director of Labor, Robert Parkinson, and gave him a separate office just to deal with that. So they should rip me to pieces in the way. There's nothing wrong with that.
My goodness.
And so the PLP is wise enough to know that the media really got them elected last election. Yeah. They helped to get them elected. Mm-hmm. Okay? That they ripped the FNM to pieces. And that's why from the building time, with the roots coming on every election and all the rest, that they were able to use the media, it was only that left then. Thank God for Hubert Ingram. They need to go ahead and he opened the media. Mm-hmm. And everybody got a radio station, but it's unfortunate that they don't show any gratitude to the FNM. All of them just ripping the opposition to pieces, which is politics. Mm-hmm. And so I feel as though your shows are, well, I got to call and support them. Not here. I mean, I'm Earl, man. I have to Earl to me is making me so mad. How he's let Anton run on his show. He's given Anton a run. You can never ever call Earl biased. I can tell you that. You can say naughty. As a naughty bias. Don't talk about Harvard Grant. Harvard Grant.
No, let's not do that.
I don't know what payroll he
let's not go there. No. But
I can say that. He know why I can say that. Harvard Grant knows why.
Okay, no. Let's stick to
you know why I can say
focus.
That.
Let's focus.
But this is democracy at its best and freedom of speech at its best. But you can't take it personal because not every statement made is in your favor. And I am glad to see that people are scrutinizing statements made, especially by our Prime Minister, to ensure that he is aware of the fact that they have some intelligent names out there and that the journalists are doing their investigation and making sure they educate the Bahamian people. But, I have no fear. It's silly season.
Okay. And it's going to get sillier. Hey, John, thank you so much. Appreciate it. We got to go to the news. I think we've been stood up by our guests, but that's fine because we have a lot to talk about this morning. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio, 96.9. Stay with us.
Crying for the day. Don't leave me standing here. Lead me to your door. Many times I've been alone.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
Hey kids, it's back! The Jeff Rogers Summer Basketball Camp, July 28th to August 8th at the Kendall Isaacs Gym. Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. for boys and girls, 5 to 18. Pair and learn from the NBA superstars past and present, including our very own Buddy Hield of the Golden State Warriors, Klay Thompson of the Dallas Mavericks, former Laker great Michael Sweet Bells Thompson, another great among the point guards back in the day, Muggsy Bogues, and many others. Application forms now at the Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, Tonic Williams Darling Highway. Call 341-4021 or check the website jeffrogersbasketballcamp.com. This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend and Guardian Radio. And it's our Morning Blend Business, a special edition. We continue our discussion. We were to have some special guests this morning. The JCMP were scheduled to be with us to talk about all their drama.
I was hoping to get into the family conversation there as well.
With the which one?
The family conversation. Because you know, when families involve you, I thought we
What
were...
type of family? Like one family?
It could be more than that because according to The Guardian this morning, the Prime Minister said that he stated directly that what's Kendia's position?
Executive editor.
That she wrote her story the way she did because family was involved. I wanted to get to the bottom of the Valley Boys situation to see if we have all of this hoopla going on involved.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I
That's a
just
serious
want...
claim.
it's not a secret. Come on now.
Well, I
Dwight.
mean, but it is a great point, right? Now you have to wonder.
I just need to know if this is why we're going through all of this junk and hoopla because family is involved.
Be careful when you point at somebody else's dirt.
It's the same
because
thing. It's
they
the
can
exact,
also point at yours.
It's the
right?
exact same thing.
Interesting.
I have family everywhere, and I don't want my family to carry a blame for anything that I'm doing. Or I don't want my family to be treated any better than anybody else because it's something I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I just want to be clear. Like, I was open to JC. I'm a lifelong Valley Boy fan.
Oh dear.
So I'm trying...
Which faction are you with?
There's a lot of factions now. There's a lot, and I've been telling people I support the idea that Mr. Davis has put forth, Trevor Davis that is, has put forth on trying to organize the Valley Boys into a more professional, refined organization. I support the idea of holding elections. I support those concepts. But at the same time, what is the root of all of this discussion now? That's what we need to get clarified before we move forward. I wish both sides well. I just want to see the Valley Boys back the way it was my entire life. The champions that they know that they are.
Yeah.
I just want to see that again. Whatever it takes to get us back
saying
there.
This has nothing to do with the Valley Boys.
I
why they want to?
disagree.
You think it has something to do with that?
I
Why
disagree.
they want to do this authority?
I disagree.
Wow.
If you look back at this is where I feel like Bahamians don't pay keen attention to these matters. If you look back at the gist of what is happening with the JCMP, a lot of it came about when the JCMP had leadership change.
Okay.
When that JCMP leadership had changed, that's when all of the friction and all the confusion came about. But again, we're not going to throw blame to JCMP. They've done a tremendous job leading Junkanoo over the last 15 years, as they like to say. I just want to see the Valley Boys back to strength.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes, whoever needs to have the conversation, if it's Mr. Adley and Mr. Davis one-on-one, if it's the entire reach and stretch of the Valley Boys across New Providence, just need to see them back to 100% and competing again. Because I can't take Saxon spinning again. If you see me, I had a haircut in a while. My barber is a Saxon. Every time I get this thing resolved so we can move
that's a crisis. You can't get a haircut because
I can't
Saxons keep winning.
I can't take the Saxons talk.
Lord.
I can't take the Saxon talk.
So you'll have dreadlocks.
Very soon.
All right. So obviously that's going to be the most of our Junkanoo conversation today. Dwight Strachan along with Ricardo Wells. We continue to talk about the attacks coming from the government at the Nassau Guardian and Guardian Radio for reporting the news and for allowing voices of dissenting opinions. Let's put it like that. Dissenting opinions on the radio. They've got a problem with that, I guess. But should we expect nothing less from the people who say they are not into freedom of information?
I'm gonna take a talking point from one of my chat groups right now and say this. I think to kick off every election season, what we should have is the day of declaration. I think everybody that is associated with any government office or any national seat or post should make a declaration. I have either wants to join a party, I have a need to join a party, I'm associated with a party. Declare your political upbringing, declare your political purpose or season, declare it at that point that we can go on.
For
free.
Broadcasting or
in any regard. Teachers,
kids,
everybody. Just specify
private
when
schools.
That way we would make sure that nobody is biased. We would have a clear understanding who's doing what.
People does lie though. So
Clearly.
Are you going to believe it?
We'll know. We'll compare what they say on declaration day to what the results are on election day. We would put those two numbers together.
So again, we have to ask a question. They've told us it's only for the elites who are interested in freedom of information, and so maybe they also have a problem with freedom of speech. And so what else? What other freedoms do they have an issue with? Were you getting a reaction?
I didn't know. I didn't know only elites wanted freedom of information.
That's what we've been told by this administration.
I learned that on social media. I'm a TikTok advocate now, so I saw a content producer on TikTok. I think his name is G Money. He was the first one that told me that only elites wanted freedom. I was shocked.
Well, he's parroting what what PLP Chairman Fred Mitchell says.
Clearly.
He says it is something that only the elites.
When did they have
want.
the meeting with the elites to specify that? I need to know these things. My audience don't really be in these. Was there a meeting?
The Elite Association said,
I need to know.
Number one priority, freedom of information. Like, see, we told you. We get their minutes. After the meeting of the elite. Of the elites. Wow.
I don't think if the elites met, that would be first on the agenda. Though. I'll keep it 100 with you.
Oh boy, I really have done a disservice to the text line today. I need to get to it, but we got some calls. Oh boy, let's take the calls quickly, and then I'll get to the messages. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning. How are you?
Well, I'm trying to make it.
Wonderful. Oh my goodness, this was a rough day, wasn't it?
The 2 days, yesterday and today.
2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but okay, because let me just get to the point. I, in a way, understand what the OPM is saying.
Really?
Because I, too, and I'm presumably on the same team as Earl Thompson, and when I try, and several times, I've tried to have an intellectual conversation, so we could critically think. And because the questions weren't going his way, I was hung up on names. They call my names on the radio. They send me private messages cussing me out because I'm supposed to be this and
Who's
I'm
they?
calling, defending. I'm just saying this. Okay?
I mean, who's the they? You're saying the hosts or other people within the party?
No, and it's only that host, Earl Thompson. Okay? It's only that host. Okay? One of the times I wanted to call, me personally, I think what the issue is the fact that he's in charge of PR. You don't have to get PLP MPs. Why not get strong PLP supporters like Kyle Dean to come in and have a discussion with him? Okay? Have those people come on.
Kyle Dean, who's
But
on
when
every...
they want to ask the tough questions, but when people ask them the tough questions, he hangs up on you, call you delusional, then private message you and tell you all manner of things.
Oh, dear.
You
Okay,
cannot, I think what they're saying is a conflict of interest. You cannot compare Nahaja Black. You cannot compare the other person who was the minister, Jeff Lloyd. They did not own or have a media post in the organization. I called one time to have a discussion because I really wanted to know. I use this as an example about Pentard not having a real job. And I'm like, why are we picking unnecessary fights?
So, I mean, I hear what you're saying. Okay, but this sounds a little bit different. This sounds kind of like a personal issue, right? And maybe this is what F&M's fighting amongst themselves. So does that? So there's oh boy. Okay, all right, but not about national issues. So there's a bias against. I don't even want to speak for anybody. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't know what to say.
I told you the resolution. Yeah, they both need stations. They need stations of their own. They need stations of their own.
Okay.
I would listen. I would listen. I would listen to the guys' show going right up against yours. Play them in different rooms.
Stop with that now. Stop with that. Let's take another call. Good morning, call. You're on the air.
Dwight, good morning. How are you?
Doing well.
I think the current debate as is in the public domain highlights the impact and the significance that Guardian role plays in the public discourse. Someone pointed out earlier that both media covered this story, the Prime Minister's, I call it boogeyman numbers. And it only occurred to him that he should Guardian. It clearly speaks to the work that you guys are doing. But I want to piggyback on this and say that if this is how they are dealing with the media in terms of their fairness, if we can use that word in quote, imagine what they will do with the Junkanoo groups when they are overall in charge of it. It clearly speaks to the inability to be fair and unbiased in their approach. And this is one of the reasons why private sector people are usually squeamish about government's involvement on any level in their affairs because they lack the ability to check themselves and to hold themselves accountable in a way that makes the process palatable for everybody. And it's really sad that, this whole saga played out the way it played out because the Prime Minister is supposed to be the adult in the room. And I don't know if he sat down long enough to think both medias are covering this story and it must mean that something is wrong with my numbers. Let me huddle with my people before I speak. No, he went out on the attack. That means that there's a lack of adult in the room sometimes, and that really disappointed me in this whole issue.
Well,
anyway, you guys have a good day.
Yeah,
I'll give him credit in this regard. I think he still opted to go on the attack because it wasn't about the numbers, it wasn't about the error. It was about to make the point that I don't want you to believe anything that's coming from this particular group.
Yeah.
And I think we need to give all the credit in the world to him on that regard because he's saying firmly to his base, I need you to listen, but specifically don't listen to this group. That was the purpose.
Okay. Well, it's inevitable. I don't know if it's going to happen after the next election, but in the future, it is bound to happen. There will be an opposition again. And
you can't say it like that.
Just remember this.
You can't say it like that.
Just remember this.
They can say you're being biased again.
No, I'm just saying that's how it's been. Do you think they're going to be for 100 years? It's very unlikely. But
you're giving them enough credit. They might be planning 100 years.
Well, caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
How are you today?
Oh, it's the infamous Pearly who's causing all this. Look what you're doing. You're causing tons of problems, sir. Tons of problems.
I do. My daughter said today at least the Guardian ratings have now gone up a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow. What do you make of all of this is going on?
One of the things I say on the show is the shirt that I wear outside the Guardian building has nothing to do with what I do inside the Guardian building. And I try my best to be as fair and allow everybody to come on the show and talk. And I catch hell for people allowing PLP people like Anton to have long times to talk, but I deliberately do that to show that everybody should have an opportunity to say what they want to say. It's an opinionated radio station. It's our show. It's you give your opinion. Yes, I will give my opinion at times, but I will call a spade when it has to be done. But, I live in the bank owns that. The only thing I own is my name and my reputation, and I cherish that. So I'm offended that my friend Latre couldn't pick up the phone and call me, but he sends me stuff all the time. He sends me information all the time, so he has all my numbers. I have all his numbers, and all he has to do is say, well, I don't like what you're saying. And we can have a discussion. But it won't be the first time that the PLP has done what they come at me, and it probably won't be the last time. But I'm going to continue to be fair and unbiased and have as best the talk shows I can whenever I'm on air.
Yeah. I want you to respond to that call we got just now. I think we know who our friend there.
I won't call the name, but it's personal. It's personal, and because I don't, when they call and when we're having a discussion on one thing and then they try to bring the Dr. Minnis issue, and I'm like, we're not talking about that. I'm not going to listen to that. And they're fabricating a lot of things. But that, I'm not even going to respond like that because let them have their day. I believe God is in control, and God will show the true light one day.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Marty is saying that he's got something special planned for today. Are you going to?
He didn't tell me what it was, but I'll talk to him a little later today.
You're going to be on this afternoon. You are going to be there
at 5:00 in Time to Talk Sports. Yes.
Okay. All right.
But I just wanted to say this. I want to thank people who supported, and even the people who criticized. I thank you very much. That's what this show. That's what talk radio is all about. And I appreciate the support that I've been given, and I will continue to do the show the way I've always been doing it.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, brother. Take care.
All right, let's read some messages before we get back to the call. So this person says here, the Office of the Prime Minister is acting like in an authoritarian manner. The attempts to distract from the surplus will have Guardian Radio. I'm not sure what they're saying. Guardian, is that right? Does that make sense? Only on the attack of the Guardian Radio. Something's missing. Typical political propaganda strategy, distract and push man alternative messaging. Okay, I got the gist of what you're trying to say there. This person says here, look at the bright side. The government promoted the Nassau Guardian and Guardian Radio in 2 press releases, utilized their ignorance. Okay, well, we're used to it. All the administrations have had we've had previous ones say that we intend to destroy them. This is always the when you just ask questions. Apparently, you intend to destroy governments. I don't understand this. They're taking a page from some people up north, and it's just wild what's going on here. But it's up to you,
We need
the
more
public.
talk
Are
shows.
you going to allow that nonsense to work? You need to
more
tell
talk
them
shows.
it's foolishness.
We need more talk shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's clearly the issue. The fact that Bahamians could call in and kind of commune on these sorts of things, that's where the energy is coming from. We need more talk shows. So they should probably write a letter to Urkel to open up more stations. Make it more affordable.
Wow. Okay. This person says here, Dwight and special guest Ricardo Wells, the political mechanism is at work in the Bahamas, and they're using tactics to discredit true, unbiased persons who are fighting for Bahamian rights in our beloved country. Let's stand together for righteousness and justice. Sila from Grand Bahama. We are listening today. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Did they say Sila?
Yeah, they did. Mm-hmm. Are you aware that the government blocked Guardian Radio from being from ministries? Is it only Guardian Radio or all commercial radio? I've heard this before, that they're not allowed, right? That they're, but is it only Guardian
Okay,
Radio?
no, I have that. So you try to tell me y'all only sit in the office playing 50 and 40?
No, they tell me they have to listen on their phones. They can't on their computer.
But they have
I've heard that before. I thought it was just they don't, for safety purposes, the IT guys don't have you listen to commercial radio.
Dwight, they have TVs. They have all kind of. Wow, I can't imagine working on.
No, you need to text us back. Is it only us? That can't be right.
I feel for you. I'd write a report to HR immediately.
That's crazy. We've got plenty of government officials on the shows all the time. So, and that's how you get information. They come on and they tell us how something's going to work. No, I don't. I think it's all, but you don't check because you don't want to listen to the others. You only want to listen to Guardian Radio, and who can fault you for that? But
I can't imagine.
Yeah. Okay. This person says, I would like to know who. Please. But I said the JCNP was supposed to be here. It's supposed to be the guest. You mean who from the JCNP? Oh. Okay. This texter says here, the PLP administration has a legacy of secrecy. No one must question them. Just trust what they say. Notice how annoyed they get and their reaction whenever they are held accountable.
I just found out about the Roots thing recently, by the way. Like I was shocked.
Oh, you mean
by
the
that.
movie, the miniseries?
Yeah, no, the use of it during the election time.
Apparently.
I had no idea it was that bad.
I don't remember it, but it's a really good miniseries. You remember it? I mean, I know everyone has said it from they say it, but maybe I didn't realize it was election time. It was I don't know.
That's
But
psychological
apparently
warfare on a different level.
Every election, so the older people say.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shout out to former
It's a
Prime Minister
powerful
Benigro
miniseries.
for opening up the airwaves. Because if that was it, let me tell you something.
There's some lines and roots that, I mean, no matter how many times you hear them, you'll cringe.
Okay.
Would you like being my slave? Anyway, you know that the PM always had something against the press after he told y'all put crime headlines under the fold.
After putting up billboards. One of my...
No, I don't think he said under the fold. He said inside.
Yeah. After being presented with the facts that he was the one who made crime like a national headline thing. Putting up billboards when he was for deputy prime minister. Well, not running for deputy prime minister.
In opposition.
Yes.
Sure. Like I told Pearlie on his show, he is fair and balanced and only sticks to the facts. PLP is playing a dirty game. I support Guardian Radio, Candia Earl, and yourself. This just shows we need to get rid of this government. Well, I don't know if it means that, but they certainly need to change their tactics. certainly
think we
need
could
to change their
implement some of the
tactics.
strategies that the Prime Minister has proposed, though. I think what we could tell the listening audience, and just follow me for a second.
Oh, gosh.
What we should tell the listening audience is...
See, you already messed up because you said follow the tactics.
Yeah.
Right, so this is scary.
He proposed at one point that women should use whistles.
That was a long time ago.
For safety. Hold on. If you feel like somebody's being biased, I invite you to use that same whistle. Call in and whistle. Whistle for us. That way we can all identify the bias.
I think that's a violation of the code.
No, you can. Somebody calls in.
The IRCA code.
Somebody calls that
on the radio.
No, we have a caller that calls in and he screams every 5 seconds. Instead of screaming random stuff, just blow your whistle. We would understand what that means.
I'd rather hear him do that than
Just
talk.
blow your whistle.
Okay.
So tell them to invite their people to just call in and blow whistles.
Wow. To answer your question, Dwight, what we are doing is watching the government attempt again to intimidate the Fourth Estate. It's bias. It's clearly seen in the way state-owned media is run and how the heads are appointed. But what will you guys do is the real question. The Fourth Estate has been playing with the puppy, which is the government, both parties included, and now the puppy is licking your mouth. Stand firm, bro, and may the odds be in your favor. Don't get tired and sell out. Jumping ship to government darkness.
That's a lot. That's a lot in one time.
Have you been playing with the puppy?
I'm a dog person, so I
don't know if you've been playing with the puppy. I mean, you try to walk the dog sometimes and try to
teach it discipline.
Teach it right, scold it when it's messed up. But sometimes the puppy wants to bite. Boy. Anyway, Prime Minister Davis, with respect, the real concern isn't being picked on or lied on, but the relentless stream of fallacies and untruths circulated daily by our politicians, especially our politicians misrepresenting critical national issues and misleading the Bahamian public. If the Prime Minister does not want his delicate sensibilities offended, simply enact, fund, and fully mobilize the Freedom of Information Act. Sent to you by an elite, clearly.
That elitist talk. That's what keeps getting us in trouble.
Decent the language was and the grammar and the spelling. That's a true elite. Dwight, I have been listening to Guardian Radio for a while, and it seems to me that you have to be pro FNM and anti PLP to host a talk show on Guardian Radio.
Oh, yeah?
You mean like always? Because, like I say, everybody who might be declared PLP is working, and you can't get them to host a show. They all have contracts and jobs.
That might be it.
Are abroad somewhere.
So, another proposal.
All the people who ain't working are FNMs.
Another proposal.
So that might be the problem. I'm not saying that you're correct, but that's just how you see it.
So the Prime Minister has also proposed a policy to try and engage more young professionals. This could be another opportunity. He could pay for more spots on Guardian Radio or any radio station to employ PLP persons.
Okay. I wanted to send that text to Dr. Hubert Minnis, though, ask him if he feels the same way, that it was all
he can do the same.
Pro FNM and anti-PLP people working here when he was in power. It's the people who call out the foolishness. And if you feel that they must be against the party that's in power, that's on you. That's on you. That's on you. Some have slipped through the cracks. I can tell you that now. And you could see who resigns after elections. And many of them have ended up in cabinet positions. So I cannot lie that we've seen it on both sides. Because you would be shocked to see how many proposals we get for shows. And you do a little digging, and you find out, that is declared or is seeking a nomination, because that's how the people around here are. And it's very, very tricky to know the motivations. This is what Ricardo's talking about. We need people to declare what their intentions are.
90 days before the polls open, we have a declaration there.
Plenty of shows have started off talking a certain way, and then when the election season starts getting closer, suddenly, wow, what's happening here?
Still shocked that they have to listen to 1540, though.
Again, I don't think that's how it works. It's all radio.
Okay.
They have something on the computer that you cannot listen to the radio, not just Guardian Radio. This person says, can I now file a complaint against ZNS? Good luck. Another text, is the issue that he is an officer of a political party? I don't recall ever any person with PLP Anyway, PLB Proclivities hosting or a co-host on 96.9. Correct me if I'm mistaken. You're mistaken. You certainly are. This person says here, remember this is the same prime minister that was complaining to Facebook during the 2021 elections.
Yes. Okay. I do recall that. I do recall that. Yes.
Oh, boy. Another one says, enough respect to Candia Dames. This is just a scare tactic and a shot across the bow of the National Guardian leading towards the upcoming election. Another text here says, what I thought was most disrespectful about the letter was the Dear Carlton portion. Are Latre and Mr. Carlton Smith friends, the same age? Who the heck does he think he's speaking to? You focus on the wrong thing. Anyway, I promise you the PLP doesn't want to start this game. This isn't Trump's America, but if they want to play crazy, we the people can get crazier. Oh, boy. As I said in the article, right? Latre Ramming calls here all the time. He calls and he's appeared as guests. As a guest, he knows how to reach us. What is this? What was this about? This is very odd. Very odd. This person says, keep Earl Thompson. He's fair, balanced, and entertaining. And they're suggesting some people we should get rid of. It seems the PLP is losing a fight that's obviously rigged in their favor when it comes to the media.
That's the crazy spot.
In spite of all the noise, confusion, and turmoil that the PLP and certain media personalities are desperately trying to protect, the F&M is gaining traction.
Okay. The last part I don't agree with.
I don't know, but
that text should be the focus of
the
this
first
entire.
part. We cannot. Yeah,
that is spot on.
That other part, I'm not sure. Momentum that can't be denied. And that has the PLP shaking. Okay.
You had me in the beginning.
Well, after yesterday, who knows? But before that, I wouldn't say that necessarily. But, this person says, Pearlie, in my view, is one of the most balanced individuals I hear on talk shows. Give him a show. Dwight, on the Pearlie issue, I'm an avid listener to Guardian Radio. I love Pearlie's views. He's balanced and unbiased. I honestly never knew he was affiliated with that party. I really was hoping he got a show. This text says, the PLP is doing a communications audit because you have a trifecta, the print, TV, radio, that is effective versus ZNS, JCN, and the others. They're attempting to take out the most effective. Oh, okay. Interesting. Please ask if... Wait, no, what? We read some of that already. Please ask Mr. Davis if his brother's affiliation with Junkanoo is why Junkanoo is now in an uproar, since he thinks Ms. Dames can't be impartial in her writing because of her brother and being in the F&M. Why should we then believe he or the Prime Minister isn't helping his brother in his quest to take over Junkanoo? So as a man speaks, so
I
is he.
I never have peace in my Valley Boy community.
That's a serious thing. That's a very serious thing. Wow. Prime Minister Philip Davis, this is not mean. That's very mean. I'm not going to read that part. He is trying to control the media, and he's surprised that there are a few people he cannot buy. I don't know if it's him, but obviously there's some people in the camp who think like this. There are people who think like that.
I'm not even sure if it's a buy the media kind of thing. I think he's surprised that, well, not he. I think the PLP is just surprised at the fact that people just pay attention. Like, people pay attention. Like, this whole thing with the budget isn't because there was some great investigative reporting done. People just read the numbers presented and was like, that don't make sense. Mm-hmm. And now we have a whole uproar.
Yeah, but they want you to pay attention when they are in opposition, though.
Yeah, but
so is it only when they're in the government that they get mad that people pay attention?
That's crazy to me.
And that's everybody. That's all political parties, because you wanted this. And you were, as Javargo said earlier, you were delighted when we were doing this to Minutes. Thought this was amazing.
Still is amazing.
Not intentionally trying to destroy anybody, just calling you out on your nonsense. Or asking, why are you doing that? What's the reason? Okay, that makes sense. Or no, that does this. What about that?
At this
but that's a problem.
What happened yesterday wasn't even calling on. It was just clarify. This happened all from a point of clarification. Like this is what I want to stress to people. There was no great investigated journalism done here. This was just clarifying the numbers.
Yeah.
And we are in an uproar because numbers that were presented had errors. And now it's a hoop. Instead of just saying, hey, we need to, communicate, try and, go back over that.
Explain it and move on. And we suspect it will correct itself.
I can't imagine what the 80s was like. I can't. I can't.
No, you couldn't say anything. So they go on to say that the Prime Minister's offered, again, it's not him per se, but anyway, his people have offered many of the journalists other positions and even made ambassadors out of some who helped shape narratives in our culture. And they're talking about that. The PM, they're saying, needs to have several seats. Wow. This person says that the government needs to stop. Instead of working on the message, the messenger is being attacked. Many critical thinkers exist in this country. You move one good journalist off the radio, another will pop up. The POP needs to let the accountants do the math and let the lawyers pontificate.
Ooh, I like that. That sounds like I write that. I like that.
This person says it's so the POP who swept up and hired all of the reporters who did their bidding when they were in opposition are now upset that there is a balanced person who just happens to be an F&M. You cannot make this stuff up.
See, I got the question one big thing here. Since we talking about balance, since we talking about bias, since we talking about these sorts of things, is it not now alarming if the press can do as much harm as being perceived from those two stories? Mm-hmm. Should we not be concerned that somebody that owns a press company is vying for another political party? Same level of concern there? Should we not?
Expressing interest.
Regardless of if you're expressing interest, you're being considered whatever.
But
Should
also,
we not be concerned there?
Again, that several owners have been given ambassadorships. That, right? That all of this.
But that one I question in particular because if we're going to keep it press-centric, if we're so concerned about who is in the press disseminating information or directing stories, should we not have that same concern there? And I repeat again, just for the record, when this note came out yesterday regarding Mr. Thompson, it was sent to one media house initially.
Two. But the same issue. Right? Who's
we can draw the connection. That's why I said one.
Who's running the places.
That's why I said one.
It was sent to folks who are... Anyway. Callers, we'll get back to you in a second. This person says that the OPM needs to be ashamed for even thinking about reporting Guardian Radio to Orca because of Pearly. We, the people, remember how the PLP inciting media figures with enticing. I think you mean to say enticing media figures with promotions and positions, and of course to bring up ZNS again. Wow. The PM's attack on Candida Dames is unfounded and unwarranted. It's simple math. Dwight figures don't lie. His summation that disclosing facts was because of drinking the F&M Kool-Aid is laughable and highly insulting.
I wonder why he picked Kool-Aid. A lot of people don't drink Kool-Aid no more.
Well, remember what happened in Guyana.
Jim Jones.
Oh, boy. Anyway, I won't say that. Let's take this call. You want to go back to the calls? Yeah. Let's take this one. Good morning, call. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Mr. Wells. How y'all doing?
Pretty good.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. We're doing well.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm an avid listener. I've been listening to Guardian Radio from the All-Star. And Earl Thompson, I don't call in. But that one particular day, I think it was last week, and I just call him to give him some constructive criticism. He is biased. I don't support the PLP. I don't support the F&M. I don't support the COI. I am a main citizen first. I believe in that. I just was calling in because it was just nauseating to hear him talk. And I just called him. I said, "Boy, you got a $200." I called the show, and after I called the show, I got my head bite off from the people who call in, and from him. And I say, something, I ain't never call Guardian Radio no more because I see. Anyhow,
Okay, so what
He
was
is a
the
bit
topic?
biased.
What was the issue? What was the matter that you were discussing?
No, well, it was I can't remember exactly how the conversation went, but I was listening that day, and I think it was the same
Well, that'd
day.
be very important to know, though. I mean, because
Yeah.
because it could be something that would require a response like that. Like
No, but I mean,
like I know I get very annoyed when one of our
this wasn't one show. This wasn't one show because I tell you, I listen to the show every day, and it get to the point now when him and Naughty come on. Naughty is kind of all right. Naughty is a little bit too much too, but I could deal with him. But Mr. Thompson, he is out of this world bias.
And
I ain't got no beef.
You got some
I ain't got no
examples
beef
to
to
give?
hold over.
Like what? You got to give us some examples. What are you talking about? Like
No, I mean on his general commentations and even when his guests come on the show, he don't. He just is like just be kissing up to the F&M and asking them. And not only Earl Thompson does it. You get quite a few people who just can't just balance their show. You could see what color they wearing just by the things what they say, the guests who they bring on.
But you can't give one example. You can't give one example.
I mean, when I listen, I can be honest with you. I ain't just calling because people bashing him. I listen to the show. And when I listen to the show, I can sense his biasness. I can't call it out to say, well, he did this or he did that. But just through listening, I have the discernment to say, well, you know something, he's a bit biased. I don't need to quantify it.
Well,
I can listen to it and see it.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's just like when the PLP talking, and they naked, and they don't even know they're naked, out to lunch. But at the end of the day, you know, we gotta stop. You gotta stop being this. You know, you gotta stop a talk show host. You gotta wear your heart on your sleeve, man. You gotta camouflage it somehow.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So, I mean, it's the lady who called earlier, you and Latre who are saying this. That's 3 to 3,000. But I hear you. I mean, we all have biases. I've been told that apparently I'm biased too. Sure. And I am. I have a real bias against stupidity. Really, really, really.
So
but
you're reading the minutes from the elite meeting. Right. Can't keep doing that.
We want FOIA and we hate stupidity.
Yeah.
That's the elite agenda. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Strong. Good morning, Mr. Wells.
Good morning.
Yeah, I have a commentary. You know, like Mr. Strong said, we all have our biases, but it is displayed. Nobody listens to every talk show and hears every word. And so both parties are guilty of dispensing misinformation as relates to statistics and controlling data and information. We saw it by the last administration during the pandemic, in which absolute risk reduction and relative risk reduction, I don't want to get into the intricacies of it. It's definitely, you have a smartphone in your hand. And I was calling out as a non-pundit, calling out these particular tactics and deceiving the masses as to the efficacy of a vaccine. So now we see where the PM, they are making statements. Right, I didn't even really listen to the numbers, you know. I mean, I know disrespect, but I know investigative journalism requires money and effort, right? But to be honest with you, when it comes to numbers concerning finance and what they're putting out, right? Like I said, it's the government duty to lie to the people. That's just the way it is. And there is a bias against common sense, because I don't really pay attention until Zhivago comments or Bo or Pamela Musgrove. I really don't, because I'm not a financial expert, but I'm able to read and understand anything that they say. And if I have a question, Zhivago or anybody, you know, I'll call in. And that's just the way it is. Now, it's one person who I can say is not biased, and Pearlie is not. And I don't think Naughty them are, because they entertain these people. Naughty just don't put up with foolishness. And so, when Mr. Line comments, you know, I listen to Mr. Line for a reason, you know. And so, the airwaves are to educate and to inform one another. But what I do have a problem with is, I had a conversation with Pearlie yesterday. A great conversation, and as many other people in Texas. I love all your texts this morning. But what I'm saying, Mr. Swan, is I'm realizing that there's a lot of people out there who are offended by common sense and knowledge.
Yeah.
And so what they do is, the guy asked me yesterday on Pearlie Show, would I just be on? Listen to me, man. He would never ask the politician what they on. But he asking me what I on, and I want you to re-listen to that show. And if you find anything that I said that was incorrect, it's actually talking about some of the same things that you guys are talking about right now. I was talking about the disadvantages of a total cashless model. And I'm a Bahamian, so I commented on Junkanoo, and then I proceeded to comment on an earlier conversation that Pearlie had with somebody as to educate people. But the guy seems to see what I'm saying is when you don't know the difference of so many people don't know something, they tend to get offended. And so Pearlie said, "Don't bother with 52. 52 is deep." But so if he in the shallows and I in the deep, I think he better stay in the shallows because if he can't appreciate what I'm saying, then there's no use to even listen to me.
Okay.
Because what I find out is people comment on visceral BS when it doesn't really make sense. But I couldn't find nothing that I said that was incorrect. As a matter of fact, I don't know if people really want to just sit around. I was talking about the digital panopticon or capital surveillance grid that humanity is embracing and moving into, Mr. Strachan.
Okay.
I'm very ahead of these guys. Just get off my. I don't need no more.
I need you to
mountains on
calm
my
down,
back.
though. You get a little worked up. I get worried about you. I hear you got a big birthday coming up. So but I know you're gonna get angry if you But you take a breath. Take a breath. That's what I had to do before I came on the air today. Wow. Okay. Let's read these messages. The POP made a political blunder with this NASA Guardian radio attack. They gave the FNM a lifeline by satisfying their rabid base of PLP supporters. Prime Minister Davis needs to have a week of free VAT on school materials and book supplies. I mean, they normally do that. Don't they have a VAT holiday in August? So I'm sure that's coming. And they also go on to say, after that, he needs to resign as Minister of Finance, fire himself, and fire his financial secretary. They are doing a poor job with people's money. Wow, that's harsh. Okay, I just realized we're not discussing this right now, but I heard you mention your decrease last month. Mine was $931. Wow. This month, it's $1,004. Yikes. How can people manage when their electricity bill is higher than their mortgage? Yeah, oh boy. Hey, as the Prime Minister says, it's your consumption that's the problem. But I told you yesterday, I actively have been sweltering in my home, deciding to wait before I turn on the electricity, the air conditioning and stuff like
7 p.m.
that.
That's my time slot.
Right, you got to wait it out. I'll stay at work longer, and then and then go home. So that was it. I worked hard to get it down $40.
Congrats.
It's still over 300, but it's not over 350. This person says, I'm enjoying your show today, the music from your show, Long Winding Road album by Spooky 007. Nice pick. Yep. Thanks to our producer for that one. Definitely. From the time I was listening to Earl Thompson, I never heard him being biased on his show, but they're calling some names of people who are. Okay, it's a lot of that today. You all have a lot of opinions on this stuff. But
I can say it like this, though.
Thank you for listening to all the shows, even though you hear different views on them.
As of Monday, I expect Urka to have a ton of complaints.
About what?
Everything. Everything.
You have to complain to us first.
No,
that's how it works. You're only going to frustrate the poor people over there.
Write your complaint, leak it to the press, and then deal with it after. That's the structure.
Okay. Do you think the government will remove the tracking number from the ballot card for the general election as recommended by the international observers who were observing the last elections? We can't call our elections free and fair if they know how we voted. Earl Thompson's always been fair with his assessments and comments when hosting. I remember a time with him having Lincoln Bain as a guest, and that show went well. And yeah, I think Naughty was on that as well. And the lady who called, saying Earl called her out, is being delusional, I think they're trying to say, and her comments are disingenuous. Okay. While I thought that... No, I don't know what you're saying here. But they say that the POP have at least 2 whole radio stations. This is a different Bahamas from the days of the one radio and TV station. I was definitely... okay. Sure. You mean we have been paying Latre to sit and listen to talk shows for...
and watch social media,
Well,
apparently.
I don't know what they do in the office of the Prime Minister. Dwight, you're as fair as it gets on the radio. Thank you so much. Don't be discouraged. Keep up the good work. Bahamians are second on this country. Are what? Bahamians are second on this country, and the only ones that don't want change are benefiting from the government or are tied to foreigners. I guess in second class citizens, perhaps, and maybe. As a longtime listener, I have heard critical commentary on every party, but only when they are doing foolishness. It's nonsense to claim bias for your show or network. Thank you very much. Yes, is this the same Latre who told you and the Bahamian people? He called in and said this, that the government doesn't have any constitutional drafters, and that's why they can't write certain laws. Mm-hmm. He did say that. He said it right here on Guardian Radio.
I appreciate Bahamians having deep memory nowadays.
Like,
I really do.
We said you can't be serious about that. He said, yeah. I support your radio station because your station is the only one in the Bahamas that sticks to the facts and calls a spade a spade. Okay. Thank you. How can we access the Guardian Radio's website on the government-provided internet? Are you saying? So this is the person who said that they're blocking it? Is it or a different person? Well, this is really serious. We got to do an investigation now. We need freedom of information for this. Yes, I thought it was my device, but as of the last 3 months, listening to Guardian Radio has been blocked on government internet and schools. I was devastated. I listened to you all every day, and now this. Wait a minute. I thought it was just my device. How can we get the access back? So you tell me you could listen to 100 Jams. You could hear...
This is your opportunity. Dwight. You can start your letter now. Dare call to it. Let's go.
Or should I write to Latre? Wait a minute. No way. Nah. People are saying, where's Anton? Mm-hmm. Okay. Wait, really? Only us? Oh, I think China and Cuba and North Korea be like, wow, you guys, how are you all getting away with this stuff in the Bahamas? We wouldn't even dream of doing this.
Why? What did he do to make them so angry?
Only us? No, can't be. Boy. Well, this is insane. Well, that's a serious problem. Bahamians process that, if that is the case. We're going to confirm that. That's a serious accusation, but that's at least two people saying that now. They work in government ministries, and Guardian Radio is blocked, but not other stations. If it is just us, that's pretty savvy.
What would it be?
What?
That's very easy to do, by the way.
If only one station?
Yeah.
But you could let everybody else go.
Yeah. You could jam the signal. IT is very exotic nowadays.
You know,
yeah.
I feel hurt.
I can see it in your eyes.
No, because I can't believe it. I can't believe that they would go that far. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Oh, wait, no. See this texter here. Yes, I can get 100 Jams. But I can't get Guardian Radio.
Y'all, please stop texting Dwight. Please stop. Please stop.
Oh, but you can't get the beat either? That's what you're saying? You can't get the beat. Interesting. Why can't you get them? You would think they'd get them. No, but they don't want you to have, or they didn't want you to have Rodney Wonker? Interesting. Oh, and now where are we? Is this the Bahamas still?
Yeah. Apparently we're in the 80s again.
No, I don't believe it. No, I'm very disturbed. I was disturbed yesterday, but this is much worse. And I think the can of worms, it's a can of snakes, and now everything is coming to light. I'm not going to repeat that because we have to confirm. If that is the case, and I actually think we might have grounds for legal action, if that is the case. This is uncalled for and ridiculous. We have to confirm it, though. We have to confirm it. They're using a web filter to block the website.
What?
Oh, man. The only way I can get you is if I go through TuneIn Radio. I don't listen to the other stations, but I found it very strange that there was access all the time, and now all of a sudden the entire site is unavailable. But it does work on my data.
Yeah, because if you disconnect from... Write the letter.
Thank God it's a Friday. You got the weekend to decompress.
Please don't trust the Dwight
this. We have to confirm this. I'm going to make some inquiries. And then we need the Office of the Prime Minister.
I think you should invite Mr. Raming down.
Really?
Yeah, just have a show.
Should we?
Just have a show.
Do we want to do that?
Just have a show. It'll be really good for ratings. You can have...
but
Mr.
like I
Thompson
told
on
you,
one side.
there's often less clarity after he speaks.
Yeah, but have him down, have Mr. Thompson down, and we can work out the levels of PR. This is a PR fight. Let's work it out.
This is a serious claim that they're blocking us intentionally in government offices, and this is a problem. This is supposed to be a democracy, folks. We are supposed to have freedom of speech. You listen to this show, you know that I cut you once you start going down that path of really getting into people's personal lives and attacking them, whether they're politicians on the F&M side or the PLP side. So we have been fair to everybody, but that would be uncalled for and a very dangerous precedent. I don't know this place anymore, if that's the case. We're going to find out. Ricardo Wells, thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you for
I don't
having
know how it would have been if you weren't here. I might have lost control.
I appreciate that.
So I appreciate you. And thank you to Zhivargo Lang and Naughty and Earl Thompson for calling in today. And for all of you for sending your messages overwhelmingly in support of what we are trying to do here. It is not easy in this climate. And I'm sure you all can appreciate that. It's a difficult process for all of our hosts, and by a lot of nonsense once they get off the air, including myself, by people who are trying to scold you, influence you, and mess with your head. But we appreciate your support for all these 13 and a half years, and we're going to continue to do our best. And again, keep hope alive. That's all I can say, I guess. Everybody, thank you. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green coming up next.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Are you being smart about your money? Protect yourself from investment fraud and scams with these quick tips. S. Spot scams by staying skeptical and alert. M. And question suspicious offers. If it seems too good to be true, it usually is. A. Always authenticate sources before sharing personal info. R. Report scams to the authorities. T. Trust only licensed financial institutions. Visit centralbankbahamas.com or email exr@centralbankbahamas.com to learn more.
You try to rest with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers, for window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Only one item?
Are you tired of limited choices?
I'll have the one item on the menu, thank you. Wow! So many choices.
Why settle for less when you deserve more? When it comes to the ways you pay, the more, the better. With a variety of payment options available, you can enjoy the freedom to choose what works best for you. Choose freedom. Choose flexibility. Choose from the full menu of payment options. The future of pay is